everybody, welcome to episode 55 of the Toys for Games cast. I am one of your hosts, Josh Brown, on camera for the first time. What's up? Also, joining us tonight is the very dashing Jason Greer.
Good evening, good evening. We are somewhat coordinating our outfits.
It's
hard to see my lighting here, but it is a powder blue.
Mm-hmm.
But it's matching your orange. You know, we're going that style, and we're looking phenomenal. We're looking phenomenal.
Yeah,
very good.
Yeah, there was a chance we were gonna dress the same, and we thankfully were able to avoid that scenario. So
not like I looked into the audience tonight. Saw Funko Rep, I guess, is wearing similar colors as Shopkins Inquirer. So that's a bit awkward. They should have, especially for being that tight competition. So
yeah, I wonder who set them together. That's weird. Also joining us tonight is the ever dapper, the amazingly looking
Flash 100-yard dash.
Yes.
The sloth. Also, nice. Our unpaid intern, who does more work behind the scenes than probably anybody knows, including us. Vince, what's up, Vince?
What's up, Josh? How's it going?
It's been a long time, man.
Very, very long time. Busy year.
Ever since you've been on the podcast with us.
Yes, it has.
I have to say, when was the last time? After Otakon, I guess.
Probably,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Man.
It's like we were busy delivering packages all winter or something.
Yeah. Some people tend to order a lot of stuff from all over the place.
That's weird.
Who does that?
Well, welcome back to the show. Of course, we invited you on this episode 55, recording this on January 19th, 2016, to celebrate our 1-year anniversary of the Toys for Games cast. It's been 1 year since we recorded the first episode.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I cannot, like, when we hit episode 50, like, that was a big deal, but, like, exactly, like, 1 year ago, that's mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing.
Yeah.
I can't believe we made it this far.
No, I can't either. I mean, like joke about all the time, from the beginning stages of we don't even know what we're doing, and this isn't going to work out, to now a very, very popular thing, huge community, phenomenal community, hashtag best community ever.
Right.
And yeah, it's freaking crazy. It's going as a wild trip, and as we keep saying, the 2015 was great. 2016 is going to be crazy awesome. Yeah. So there's so much to come.
Our first year was just like establishing who we are, what we want to do, really trying to figure out what this is all going to be about and how far we could push it. The fact that we got this far and we've grown so much and we've done so many cool things already, it just makes us excited for what's to come in 2016. So to celebrate our 1 year anniversary, like, you know, episode 50 was about us. We had an AMA episode. Everybody got to send in questions. It was 8.5 hours long, roughly. I'm pretty sure
he carried the one.
Yeah, Matt might still be asleep after that. Like, it was a big thing. But that episode was all about us, and it was our chance to give the community kind of a behind the scenes look at us personally, you know, because they know us as the Toys to Life collectors, the weirdos that always talk about these plastic things and collect all kinds of stuff. And, you know, it was a more personal episode, but I didn't want to do that again for our 1 year anniversary. I don't want to celebrate us and us, you know, making it a year in the show. I wanted this to be not only for our community and about our community, but about, you know, the genre that got us started in the first place and the only reason why we're here, and that's the Toys to Life genre. So it was suggested by a fan several weeks ago that we do kind of like an award show. Like, we should do end of the year awards for Toys to Life. And at first it was like, it's going to be a fun little joke, you know? And then we started taking it a little bit seriously and realized that it was something that we not only could do, but should do. And, you know, we should take it seriously as well and make a big deal about it. And here we are, man. I mean, we're in tuxes. You have popcorn.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
We got Vince back for it. I mean, that's the number one sign that we're a big deal. When Vince is willing to come back on the show.
Whoa. I'm always willing. Someone just doesn't relay the information.
Here's the thing. We're making a semi-official, unofficial date of Wednesdays. So it's
Wednesdays? All right, I'll be there.
We're trying to work on it. So,
which next week is going to be Monday. So, I mean, that's already out the window again.
Hey, I'm free Monday. I didn't do anything.
But I should say, which I don't know if we even really addressed this yet, but this is our first debut video one that we're trying as well. Mm-hmm. So we have the audio. The video will be up on my YouTube channel Jason Inquirers on YouTube as well. So we're gonna try it.
Right.
No idea if this is gonna work or not, and what's going on. So we'll
Yeah.
try it on there. So it's a little bit different because typically, I'm like cutting my toenails and digging for gold and stuff, and now I have to stare at Josh's face the whole time and behave. So
Kind of weird.
We'll see how this goes. The audio version might be different too. We're 100% gonna make sure the audio version's like, I don't say the best version, but not like you have to watch it to understand
That's
everything.
our bread and butter.
Yeah. So, but on the same time, it's kind of weird that I'm actually like staring at your face this whole time.
Well, what was weird is the other night when we like did our 2.5-hour deliberations to decide the winners, and we decided to do that on video, and I watched you literally play with a water bottle for about an hour and a half. I'm like, dude, like you have mashed that thing into recycled plastic again. I don't know what you're doing to that thing, but just put it down. Like you are a fidgety man.
I'm very fidgety, and it's funny too because now I have like this set up with a snowball mic and my headset. I used to have set up with one of the old Turtle Beaches, and it has like that 50-foot cord. So
Right.
and you can mute it there. I used to make a sandwich. Like I'd walk over to my kitchen and make a sandwich and stuff. So I can't do any of this stuff anymore. I got to sit here and behave.
Yeah, looking back, I'm sure there's moments where we could pinpoint where you were slightly distracted by other things, and
I don't just shoot me a confession. I will admit there was one time I even had to go to the bathroom. Number one, not number two. That's disgusting. But
yeah, that'd be weird.
when you got to go to build a
That
podcast,
obviously.
man. When you're at 2 hours,
you can always say break. We can always
no,
pause it,
there's no
splice it
breaks.
in.
No breaks.
No breaks. I splice in 3
Sacrifices.
different audio files every show because you're Skype.
Listen,
It's true.
chill.
As a
Yeah, I have popcorn. National
I'm not
Popcorn
getting
Day.
into popcorn
This
very
is
much.
celebration. Hey, man, you want some popcorn?
No, I was just joking. 'cause,
No, I'm just saying.
I mean, I'll have popcorn.
It's real
just
nice
saying.
for the audio version of the podcast.
It's quiet enough, right? I'm like,
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm like doing that thing in the movie theater when it's like really quiet movie watching, so you have to like quietly dissolve it in your mouth.
You're opening the soda you snuck in at the quiet moment. Is that what's happening right now?
Did we ever talk about that?
I don't think so.
My friends always like to try and sneak stuff in the movie theater.
Okay.
There's always like a contest to see who can. Like, sneak.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And about the guy sneaking in the sub.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Sneaking
That
in
record
a
still stands.
foot long sub. I don't know how you beat sneaking in a foot long sub unless you sneak in like a microwave or an easy bake oven and somehow
Full, like large pizza, maybe.
Yeah, large pizza. That
Yeah.
would be it.
Since I know our movie theater owner, I bet you I could somehow just like, listen, I'm just doing this for a joke. I bought 4
see, you
popcorn
don't
tins
win.
and I'll do.
You don't win.
No, I'm just saying I'm
Sneaking.
still sneaking it in, but just
You're
It's
not sneaking it if you
sneaking
tell
in
them in
if the
advance.
owner knows.
No, I'm saying just don't kick me out. It's a joke.
Again, you're losing all the danger aspect of
Fine,
that.
whatever.
Anyway,
Back on point.
what the point was? This is episode 55. This is the first annual Toys for Games Awards, where we celebrate everything Toys to Life related, and then a few extra things because we like to have fun. And this podcast, as everybody should know, is not just about Toys to Life. We branched out very quickly and decided, man, there's so much more to talk about. How many podcasts did we go talking about Tsum Tsums where we're like, we just need a separate podcast to do this? It was a few.
Yep.
It was getting to the point where every podcast was like another Tsum Tsum reference. Okay, let's go down this path once more. So
I was
we had
just
to-
off. I was
we had to-
of course,
we had
again,
to
because I got a
branch out.
message, but sorry.
yeah. So we had to branch out and do other things. So we're not all just Toys to Life based, but obviously that is our bread and butter. That's what brought us together in the first place, and I think that's why people listen to us and now possibly watch us, which is frightening. But
Yeah, what if this turns into a thing?
it might be a thing. I mean, Ken, the fantastic admin over at our Facebook group, he's working on putting together a new Google Plus account, and that goes in with a new YouTube account for Toys for Games. So it might be a thing going forward, man.
Might be a thing.
I don't know if I could get dressed up every show, though.
That's fair.
Why not?
Yeah. I mean, from the
I don't
waist
know.
up.
I don't know if I can stay like focused for 2 hours and not.
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
You
Focus.
just
Oh
just
jeez,
poke 'em.
Louise. Yeah, because we might have to do it like our friend Greg Miller does and stuff that like just don't even care anymore. Like you're just on video, but you're still just doing like whatever. Like who gives a rip?
Right. You just forget that people are watching you.
Yeah.
At least we could always like edit it with fun things if things go haywire.
Story of my life.
If we were doing it live, man, we'd have
know.
no chance of doing this.
I don't even know what I'm gonna do when I have to do live streaming stuff.
You'll be fine.
We'll handle it. We're pros.
We got it.
As you can tell by the tuxedos, we're pros here. Professional.
These are your and I's are both debut shirts, right?
Yeah,
Did you
these
buy
are
yours
brand
first? So this is firmly pressed, looking good. Like,
Yeah. I opened the package today. Overnight.
So did I.
From Amazon.
Yeah.
nice.
Beautiful thing, man.
I got mine back on like Tuesday, and I kept forgetting to get it. Wait, today's Tuesday. Friday? Last Thursday?
I don't know, man.
I don't
Last-
really know
I
what day of the
didn't
week it
deliver it.
is.
When's the last time you've gone a day without having a package delivered?
A long time ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I brought 2 into his house today.
Shocking.
When I was out of college, I had to make a Google Doc spreadsheet for my mom so that she can know like what's coming where, tracking them stuff.
God bless
Oh, boy.
Mama Greer.
Oh boy, where's she? She should be on the
Right?
award show. She in the audience? That's a nice goblet.
Thank you, man.
Fancy.
Is that out of the China hutch?
Yeah, this is from the the restaurant at Disney World, the Beauty and the Beast restaurant. Oh my goodness!
And you call yourself a fan?
I know. What's
I've
the
never
song?
been.
What's the song? What's the dinner song?
I don't know.
And
Be
Beauty
our
and the Beast.
guest?
Be our guest. It's the Be Our Guest restaurant.
Is that literally what it's called?
Yes.
Oh,
Be Our
okay.
Guest.
I thought
But
you
it's
just
really
make
funny.
stuff up now.
I got this thing. I saw it online, and I purposely didn't say anything to anyone because you can like pre-order your food online to make the line go quicker. So if you know what you want to eat 3.5 months from now, you can go ahead and pick it. But,
Hey, why not?
So, but I saw like mug, and I was like, "Pfft, I'm getting that sucker real quick. And so then we were actually I shared a story with our Patreons before. I don't think I shared on the podcast with it though.
No, that was
But
a Patreon Hangout exclusive.
that was day one, I think. The first one we did. So my sister, like, the kids saw it and they're like, I want to get that. And Heather's like, yeah, I'm glad you didn't get that, Jason. Or I'm glad you didn't get it, Jason, because the kids are going to go crazy if you got one and they didn't. I'm like, yeah, that's a good thing. And it comes out, and then she's like, how did that? I was like, I'm sorry. Because I didn't tell her I ordered it. So she's like, because she's concerned because the kids saw I got one. They were going to want one. And so she's
Naturally.
like, I'm glad you, like, thank you for not getting one. I was like, oh, yeah, no problem. I was like, oh, whoops, I forgot I got one. Like, Heather, please, how long have we been brother and sister? You know me by now.
Yeah, everybody should know what you're up to. Everybody. So we do have an award show to actually get to tonight. We have awards to give out. Before we get to that, though, we do have one email. Didn't even ask for emails, right? Because I was like, we're not doing news, although we have an influx of news the last couple days. Didn't ask for emails. All of the normal stuff that we do on a normal show out the window today. It was supposed to be just an award show, but we got an email. I'd be remiss if I didn't read the email.
Okay.
This is from Different Kind of Geek.
Hey,
Says, well, guys, I can't believe it's been a whole year. It seems like just a few weeks ago, I was listening to you talking about how no news would be broken on the podcast. Oh, how we've grown. Now here we are, celebrating a whole year of this amazing community being together. You both have done so much for the Toys to Life community, and I'm extremely grateful for all the time and effort you put into pleasing us. You guys are seriously some of the most kind people I know, so thank you for all you both have done, and I can't wait to see what 2016 has to bring for the hashtag best community ever and the best podcasters ever.
it's phenomenal.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, this was so great because, like, that's why I even said today, like, when you said about, like, it's a 1 year anniversary of the podcast, like, it doesn't even really feel like it's a 1 year anniversary of like, you and I kind of thing. Like, I could care less about, you know, that per se. You know, like, it's literally the 1 year anniversary of, like, everybody, you know, the entire community that we built here. And it's great because, like, you know, I'm on first name basis with a bunch of people. I can, like, not that I have phone numbers, but direct message, like, I can direct message people about random stuff, and which I've done in the past, just asking random questions, and it's just chill. Like, it's great being on first name basis and stuff. I mean, as I said before, when people change their profile pictures, it messes me up for a little bit. But but so far so good. So it's it's great.
Yeah, I mean, we were only talking for maybe a couple weeks before we recorded the first episode. And that was, you know, when that first episode went up, that was pretty much the first time anybody knew that this podcast was going to happen. You know, we didn't hype it up beforehand. I mean, you had your Inquirer fan bases and whatnot, but it just kind of showed up out of nowhere. Then we started pushing it, you know. So this community has pretty much been built, you know, from the Inquirer communities, you know, from the ground up from the first podcast. So that's cool. And honestly, like, I feel like I've known you for years now. Like, it's weird that I've only known you a year.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah. Absolutely crazy.
I know, because it's funny because there's times when you know, friendships change, stuff like that. Like, obviously, I mean, Vince here is still one of my like best friends and stuff, but it's funny that yeah, weird. But it's like it's funny because like you and I were this very like informal relationship. We talked like twice a week about recording, you know, like when we want to record, talk about like that, and now it's like, I feel like it's like you're like a serious partner of mine. I feel like I'm texting like constantly. I'm like, am I texting Josh too much? You know, stuff. And it's like, there's just, and like you become, which I'm sure you know, is like just when there's like something I'm frustrated about or something like that. It's not even relevant to Toys Life, just in life in general. Josh is like the person I just freaking just rant about something. It could be about someone he doesn't even know, and I just like I just have to just go because I have to tell someone. And since I don't have a girlfriend or anything like that, comes Josh is the fallback guy. So it's just it just goes to Josh.
Yeah, because I'm over here. I can't judge you from afar. So,
and again, we've met in person just the one time, right?
Yeah, just one time.
Yeah, that one time at E3.
Yeah. So
crazy.
I mean, here we are, a year later. Toys for Games Cast, 55 episodes plus bonus episodes, the collector's editions. 2016 though, man, it's going to be crazy. Looking ahead.
I did just get an update from our gentleman off the side here, just letting us know like how the audience is going. And I heard Shopkins had to swap seats because they were sitting next to Mabel, and somebody has to tell that poor girl tonight's not her night.
It's never her night.
It's not her night.
Ever.
I don't know. I'm not gonna hype it. If Shopkins continues to tweet stuff during this recording, I'm gonna read it every single time.
Mabel coming out as a Disney Infinity character is a leak that will never happen.
If that broke like tonight, I'm freaking done.
I'm not calling it. That will be the one I will not let you actually talk about ever.
Well,
that will be like, just forget that it happened. So how this is going to work? We're going to read the categories. We're going to read the nominees. We're going to talk about which nominee actually won the fan vote, because the fan vote over on toysforgames.com actually factored into a third of the final vote, with Jason having the other third and myself having the final third. So that's why deliberations took about 2.5 hours, because I thought like we were on the same page on most of them, and it turned out to be a little chippy on a couple of them. It got bloody there for a second. And
there's a couple of them, and there were some that we were on the same page, but we still wanted to flush it out to make sure we were on this. Like there's very few, like maybe one took less than 2 minutes. That was probably like the shortest one,
right?
And then a couple of them on there. We'll get some of the ones like you and I both said that we didn't think was going to take that long, but it's just kind of one of those we just couldn't really like. Again, like although we're making like I don't say a mockery, but you know, having fun with this whole thing, we also want to make this serious, so we're doing best
and you know, because we did value the input from the community, like that was a big part of that, but we also had to realize that we couldn't just let it only be a popularity vote, right? You know, right. We had to rein it in and actually award who we thought were most deserving, based on everything, not just an influx of fans. So there were some that didn't, you know, that won the fan vote that didn't win. And even on those ones where we were in agreement of, like you said, we had to flush it out and make sure that we are capable of explaining why we overturned pretty much the fan vote, you know, because that was tough. I didn't like doing that.
No, and I said it too. I mean, I won't detail which ones took the longest, but the one that's always, I think, funniest to us is Twitter account of the year. Literally took us like 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes to like decide that one.
It shouldn't have.
It shouldn't have, but we, like, I brought out a notepad and like broke it down the points. Like, again, like we were serious about this thing. So
we had like, you had like a point scale and like categories for like what that Twitter account does, like what they all do and how they all factor into social media as a whole. It was it was not something I was prepared for, and I was like, well, we got to do this. We've come this far, we've been this serious with it. We can't just toss that out the window and just start doing whatever to get done with it. So, I'm satisfied.
I'm satisfied.
We had a backup committee just in case.
Yep.
It was still in a tie after I, and the community voted. We had a committee in place. Vince, you were on the committee.
Oh, that's good to
know. You didn't know that.
I didn't know that. Not at all.
But if we had to use the bat phone, we were going to.
I like that. The bat.
But we didn't get that far.
Yeah, we were close on the come on, but we we came to some conclusions though. Then
I think you kind of gave up on one, and I think I just gave in on another. I think there's probably two where I think we both just
gave up. Yeah,
just okay. You could have this one.
And it wasn't like it was like 55%. Like we were, it was just narrowing out the other one. Like it wasn't like it was. I felt 80% on this one and 20%, and like I didn't want to give up my 80%. It was like we both could see each other one, but we were both ahead for different reasons on each one. So
we agreed that it could go either way, but I felt strongly enough to push it. And I mean, what happened, and I have some ideas for some more categories next year. Obviously this is the first time we're doing it. We didn't know what the reaction would be, what the community would think of it. Over 70,000 something votes or something, 80,000 votes total. No, that sounds like a lot. Maybe that's not true. But I mean,
just go with
that.
I'll say, even the Inquirer of the year, like that one got about 1,500 votes, 1,400 votes, 1,700 votes,
38,000 votes.
38,000.
Yeah. I'm just making up numbers here on the fly. It's not a math podcast. It's not a numbers podcast. 38,000 votes, though. That's still a lot of votes.
That's nuts.
Yeah. Did not expect that in our wildest dreams.
Nope.
Website crashed a couple times, but it's still up and running. So we'll present everything. Then we'll let Vince, who does not know the winners, you have no idea who won these categories. Idea. We'll let you open the very fancy envelopes. Announce
again. Show the people on the video podcast here. We have these envelopes here. Inside these envelopes are the known answers that the accounting firm of Greer and Brown are the only people who know the results inside those envelopes.
Unless you changed them. I mean, there's a chance that I sent you the winner list, and I mean, once it's announced, right?
I made these envelopes while I was listening and interacting with the Disney Infinity TV podcast on Monday night. So there could be like the wrong thing.
Disney Infinity just all the way down. Best Amiibo of the year, Darth Vader. It doesn't work like that. No, once Vince announces the winner, that's the winner.
That's fine.
We're not going back and changing it.
We're not Steve Harvey in this.
No, I got graphics made up. I mean,
so all the
that's
winners
just
are
the way it
Vince,
is.
right? Right.
That's right.
All right, good.
Yeah, we're just gonna call you 17 times.
Somebody on Twitter was pushing that I win all the categories, so I don't know what he's. I mean, I don't know if he changed something because he said it's all going according to the plan. So I don't know if he snuck in my house.
Maybe he hacked in the file once you got it.
He might have leaked it.
Ooh, B&H. This is not that podcast for this kind of stuff. That's next week. Man, next week's going to be a killer show. But we need to do these awards first. So let's go ahead and start. You ready to start?
I'm ready to rock and roll, buddy.
I think everybody's ready to start. Let's go ahead and start with a category that was suggested in our latest Patreon hangout. The fine folks over there decided that we needed just one more category because I went over all the categories with them and the nominees before I announced it all on Twitter, before everything was set up, and they're like, we need one more category. We need to figure out once and for all what the best Inquirer of the year is. And I was like, you know what? That's a great idea. That's an absolutely great idea. We excluded Nintendo Inquirer from the nominees only because that was spawned from Amiibo Inquirer.
Right.
Without Amiibo Inquirer, there would be no Nintendo Inquirer. So, Jason and Lauren, sorry, that's just the way it is. That's how it works. Also, Vince Inquirer didn't make the list.
It's okay.
Only because he's just a Twitter account, as far as I know. Once you get that blog up, though, you could make a running for 2016 Inquirer of the Year.
It's game on.
Let's do this.
Yes.
I'm gonna go right now.
The nominees of Inquirer of the Year, we have Amiibo Inquirer, Infinity Inquirer, Skylanders Inquirer, Jason Inquirers, and Brick Inquirer. Those are the 5 official nominees. The fans, surprisingly, chose Amiibo Inquirer as the best Inquirer of the Year. Now, I don't know if the fans were picking Amiibo Inquirer of the Year because it shut down, and they were happy that it shut down, or they're thinking back to how much happy memories they had with Amiibo Inquirer.
There's some theories I have, and some people I didn't even think about it. There's some people, like we said before, that just had Amiibo in it, so people voted for that. I mean, that's a chance of it. So people voted because, like, again, that tied into Nintendo Inquirer and, like, Amiibo News, so people voted for that. Some people voted for, which I didn't think about this, is because a lot of the people, again, is, you know, pretty obvious, that found our podcast because of that account. So a lot of people voted that because that was the gateway into the Toys for Games community. So some people voted that just because of that pure reason.
Sure. But I think there's also a small portion of the voters that were just happy it was gone.
That's true.
Competition, you know.
Kick them out.
Less competition in the water, more sharks get fed. So,
right.
I say we go ahead and open the envelope and see who actually won this award.
So, the envelope, the winner of Inquirer of the Year goes to Infinity Inquirer.
Woo.
Yay!
Yeah, man. Bam! Infinity Inquirer.
Just
Got
like that.
one right.
I like that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Infinity Inquirer.
Let's do it.
Why did Infinity Inquirer win this prestigious award?
Yeah, so it was second in the vote, you know, so we did put that, so that was important on there.
Right.
When you and I talked about it, again, Amiibo Inquirer was nice, it was huge, but it was only for, I mean, that was what time did I shut that down? March? March or April-ish.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there. And so it was an important part, but I still think that Infinity Inquirer, I'll be blunt about it. Amiibo Inquirer had more Facebook likes and Twitter followers and hits and everything else like that. But again, that was just because I was the original resource for it, you know, and that there was nothing really else for a while. The first. Amiibo News is copying.
They don't call you Jason #1 for no reason.
So,
Off topic. Back on topic.
There's business deals going on, and it's just like there's something I have to talk to you about off camera. It's gonna make you laugh.
Oh, boy.
But
Does B&H want to sponsor our podcast?
no, I'm just gonna throw it in here in the middle of this.
Why not?
We were wrong with how we read the email from Toys R Us. It wasn't $10 or $1 off the pack. It was $10 for the pack or $1 for the pack.
That is not how I read that.
That's not how I read it either. So
wow, that deal is so much better.
So our Toys R Us contact sent this thing. He's like, so you know it's this. And I'm like, I didn't respond back because we're in the middle of this podcast. And he's like, who wouldn't want a fun pack for $1 free shipping? I'm like, okay, because we were like,
we're like $1 off that covers the pack. I mean, it's cool. Thanks. You know.
I feel so bad.
That is so much better.
That's on them. That's improper wording. That's hilarious. That changes everything.
Everything. Because those were like going to be like consolation prizes. Like, oh, you didn't win, so here's $1 off.
No.
Shipping.
So probably those people read this article and like, Toys R Us, this is a joke of a prize.
Yeah, nobody said that. I think that they just didn't want to respond.
God dang it. All right.
$1 Lego Dimensions. I totally read $1 off.
Because I think it said sale $1. I think it's how they worded it. So I assume I meant $1 off.
That's on them.
That's why. Yeah. So anyways,
yeah. Things just got a whole lot better. Whole lot better. Thank you, Sergio.
But yeah, so But again, at the end, they across this is thinking about for a lot of awards that we had to think about 2015 as a whole, and I don't think any of the Inquirers took off as much as Infinity Inquirer did. And it's a little slow building with it too. Like Infinity, it takes a lot for somebody to follow a Disney Infinity account. You mean because of there's various stuff like that. There's not stock issues. They're doing well with putting news out, stuff like that. I mean, there's nothing that unless you're a true Disney Infinity diehard, that you look for it. What makes you want to look for it as well. Right. But in like beginning of the year, I don't even remember how it was, but like Twitter followers and website hits and everything, double, triple, quadrupled, like it's gone crazy. And thanks to the success, both like publicly with people and financially and stuff like that, allowed me to work on the other sites as well. I mean, I honestly would not be able to do Brick Inquirer and Skylanders Inquirer unless I had the success I did with Infinity Inquirer. And again, because of Infinity Inquirer, that's what got us to E3. Obviously got to D23, got to a bunch of stuff. So it played a crucial role in everything. So I felt like that was the year of Infinity Inquirer. Who knows? 2016 could be. I mean, Brick Inquirer could go crazy. Skylanders Inquirer, or Jason Inquirers could take off. So
Amiibo Inquirer might come back. Who knows?
Might come back.
Vince Inquirer.
Come back Inquirer of the year.
I felt like I should tweet that out on April Fool's Day and just see what people do.
Refollow you and start asking for CPSI numbers and whatnot. It'll happen. You don't want to go down that road. It's a scary road.
Did that Meta Knight Amiibo come out? Just spit out popcorn.
Why not? So we both agree that Infinity Inquirer definitely made sense overall. I mean, it is your baby. That was the original Inquirer, but that didn't really factor into this award. It was what made the most impact, and people following you through there for the Star Wars information once that was finally announced, and then the E3 coverage and everything else is your D23. Big year for Infinity Inquirer. So I want to see Jason Inquirers step up though.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's
like I told you in the deliberations. If this was Twitter Inquirer account of the year, like definitely Jason Inquirers.
Oh yeah.
But because you just don't utilize the site as much as I think you should. Not that I'm trying to tell you how to do your job or anything.
Hey, I'm just I want to. It is funny too. Like when I'm looking back on like analytics of everything, I'm already surpassed like all the tweets of all my other. I haven't done combined yet. It's gonna get there close. Of number of tweets Jason Inquirers has put out versus the number of tweets all the other accounts has. Because obviously I'm not spamming like Infinity Inquirer, Skylanders Inquirer. Like I put out the news. Jason Inquirers, man, I submit like 40 tweets a day. It's just off the realm. But
yeah, why not? I mean,
tweet out.
If you feel like singing Milan, that's the place to do it.
That's the way to do it, man.
Even if you lose followers, I mean,
yeah.
You'll gain them back.
I mean, I put a fun video out of the emergency alert noise at McDonald's. So
that was a very unique sound. I meant to talk to you about that. Is that supposed to scare people? How loud was it? Because it didn't sound.
It was very quiet, and it was just an alert noise. And then they have never inspected it probably because it was fine. I was like beep beep beep, and it went beep 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 beep
yeah.
beep beep beep. Like just started going crazy, and it was fine. And I was like, wait, what the frick? And so I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna record a video of this obnoxious bird chirping. It
was very strange and not something that I hear and think emergency. So, what are you gonna do, huh?
Yeah.
I think we need to move on to the next category. We're gonna go with subscription box of the year. Do you want to read those ones?
Yeah, so subscription box of the year, we're down to Loot Crate, Star Wars Smuggler's Bounty, Marvel Collector Corps, Comic-Con Box, and Geek Fuel.
You said it this time, not me.
Oh, shoot, I did. It's ingrained because of all these jokes and everything.
I know. Can't stop, man. There were a few boxes that I thought about putting on there that didn't make the cut. The Tsum Tsum subscription box, which... Can I say Val really wants right now? And I don't know how to convince her that it's no bueno. But then she sees you tweeting out pictures because you swore it off and then you got back on.
No, here's the thing. I still haven't got that video up yet. Legit forgot I didn't cancel it. Like, I forgot I didn't cancel it yet. So I was like, your Disney order shipped. And I'm like, it already did ship because I thought it was my Tsum Tsum order. I think it was like Tsum Tsum subscription. I'm like, oh crap, I never canceled that.
You meant
and then I saw the leak of what it was, and I'm like, all right, I'm cool with that. So, and I won't give full credit to Sebastian. He said same thing. Like they have to do Mickey and Minnie to get that out of the way. Like they have to, and then we'll get to the more fun, unique characters. So
sure.
So I have no idea what I'm gonna do now. I have no idea.
You should just
You're
give
gonna
it to
keep
me.
it.
Just give it
You
to
know
me.
you are.
I don't know.
You're too far in now. Too far in.
The sloth
So
attacked
anyway,
me.
so
sloth is
the
attacked.
subscription boxes. The
Flashback
fan
on your
vote.
Dash is falling.
Oh
Got
no,
him. He attacked me. It's okay. He's a sloth.
safe. So the fan vote was won by Loot Crate. They had the fan support in this voting, but let's see what the winner is.
And the winner of subscription box of the year goes to Marvel Collector's Core.
Hey. Yeah. So
Here.
curious how people do on this one. So we got Marvel Collector Core.
That's
The
right.
winner.
It's Core, right? Not
Yes,
corpse.
Core.
It,
Not like
it
a
is
dead
core,
Marvel.
allegedly.
Like a dead Marvel thing.
Allegedly. Yeah. So, this one was tough.
Mhm.
Again, this is another one of the first ones that we had a little bit of me running account number 2, but still a little bit tough here. We felt Loot Crate was great. They had a solid year, but they kind of bottomed out there in the summer, like the famous when I got out. But a couple of people, and again, like this thing, Josh and I, we don't want to make it like what affected us personally, but how it affects everybody. But
Right.
there's a lot of feedback on there, and there's a lot of people who just kind of like, oh, great, Loot Crate came here. Oh, this is a cool box. Move on with their lives. And then we saw about Star Wars is great. A lot of people like the first box, but it's kind of hard to give that the first of the year when we only had one, so far. So we just felt like that was a little bit unfair to give it that
Right.
high prestigious honor. So Collector's Core, which would be again, we've had 3, right? 3, 4,
4,
4.
5.
that-
No, because we had
Far?
Avengers, Ant-Man, Secret Wars, Villains, and Guardians.
Oh man, what has
Oh
been
yeah,
5?
Guardians was December.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah,
That's a full year.
that's 10 months.
Yeah, freaking. I forgot it's that long.
So you should be getting your year-long trophy here soon.
That's right.
Ooh. Okay.
So we talked about that, and we said that a lot of more people were, again, we thought maybe this was because it's every other month, but there's a lot of people who are more anticipating that, like they were looking forward to that email shipping or that email letting you know it's delivered. Loot Crate's
Right.
like, oh cool, I'm excited to go home sometime tonight. I'll open Loot Crate, but there's definitely some people, but I think there's more people who, as soon as they get home, that's the first thing they're doing is opening Collector's Core versus people opening Loot Crate. At least from what I've heard from people in our community and stuff like that. So
Right.
and again, as we said before, Loot Crate was at this point where they were just cruising. They put it in cruise control. They were off and going. I think that
Yep.
was fully shown in that was Cyberbox or whatever it's
Cyber.
called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had a
The
lot
pencil
of
case.
pencil case. And then we said that Collector's Core is fully shown Loot Crate. I don't know how it's affecting subscription numbers or anything like that, but I think it's fully challenging them, saying they need to step it up. And as you said, they're doing a T-shirt in each box now, doing other stuff. They got an exclusive Funko back, so.
Yeah, and overall, if the Marvel box didn't take off, we wouldn't have got the Star Wars box, and we wouldn't have got the DC box. I mean, flat out, we have 3 boxes now from pretty much the same, company of Funko, because of the success of the Marvel box. Plus, for the viewing audience out here, I'm sorry, but this single-handedly won the award for him, I think.
That's legit one of the best Funkos they've ever made.
Yeah, I mean, even though it wasn't a surprise, like they did announce that for the first box to get people interested and want to subscribe to it. Like, it was far and beyond what it had any right to be as a thing.
Could you imagine if that was a surprise? Like if you didn't know you were getting that, dude, people would have literally blown their head off.
I would have been so mad. That's the reason I got it.
Right.
So if I would have been like, oh, I'm gonna pass. It's probably just another like Wolverine or something. Then it's all
Right.
like, all right, I quit.
Yeah. So, I mean, that Hulkbuster right off the bat was just like, that set the pace for what they were going to do for the rest of the year. So, they might not have ever surpassed the Hulkbuster, but I mean, that's a heck of a way to start a year. Right. So, in the end, we had to give it to Marvel Collector Core subscription box as the subscription box of the year. Next up, this is going to be one that we're going to hear about, I'm sure. For better or for worse, this is the non-Toys to Life collectible of the year.
Yes.
Before we even go anywhere with this, we have to acknowledge the fact that Shopkins Inc., the Twitter account that was set up as just a parody of us and our ridiculous stories and how we started talking about Shopkins, turned into not only just like something that would engage with us with inside jokes that only people listening to the podcast would get, but it expanded to like almost a legit Shopkins Twitter account. Unexpectedly. I don't think they were ready for it. I don't think the world was ready for it. But their campaign to push the votes was beyond anything that anybody could have ever done for an award show. Like, they tweeted at Taylor Swift, President Obama. They hit a Japanese fan site to Shopkins. They were tweeting out in several different languages.
I still don't even know how that even, like, they obviously use Google Translate, unless they somehow got a hold of Cellsci or something.
Right.
And
unless
somehow,
it is Cellsci. We don't know.
Unless they somehow got, like, a legitimate, like, literally use Google Translate, probably, to communicate with some Japanese fan site enough to get them to vote for this thing.
Yeah, which meant, like, the translation was good enough that they understood what they were talking about and got, their tweets posted on the fan site to drive people over for the voting. Just absolutely incredible.
They got Moose Toys, so people make the toys to retweet it. That, like I said, all this different stuff they got. That one was like, I was done. Then when they bust out the tweeting the Shopkins in Mexico, like I said, I'll always remember that because I if you do not have to tweet sent to your phone, do that now. Like if you can, it will bring you delight throughout the day. So I'm just sitting there like watching the movie, like phone goes off and I have like a special notification for that, like, oh gosh, here we go. And I'm just reading it and I see it in Spanish, like I'm like, I'm done. Like I don't even know what the scene says. I'm done.
The thing is, I know you get the tweets sent to your phone, and I still like will screen cap them and send them to you because I'm just like, I don't care. Like, if you miss this by any chance, like you have to see this immediately because this is the best thing ever.
I actually did change my mind because I remember my favorite one is still when someone, because again they just randomly troll random Shopkins people, and someone just tweeted like Shopkins are ruining my life or whatever they said. And, like I'm done with I forget what the original tweet was. So Shopkins
it was somebody complaining about how collecting Shopkins was such a headache and like was just ruining their life.
So Shopkins Car quotes them randomly, whoever this person was. It says, "So would this be a bad time for you to ask to vote Shopkins in the non-total of the year?" The person just writes back, yes, or something.
Yeah. So good. So, like, if we could give an award for best campaign for votes, like, we would have to give it to that person. But that's not what this award is. This award is for the non-Toys to Life collectible of the year. Basically, all the stuff that we normally talk about on our collector's edition of the podcast. Stuff that we're both pretty much fans of and that our community is fans of as well. Would have loved to put like Power Rangers or Transformers or that kind of stuff. Gundam up here. But like this was more personal for Jason and I. Going forward, if there's other collections, we might need to like rope in Matt from Collection Crossing to help us out sort through like the most popular brands. But these seem to be like the top brands of like collectors this past year. So
I wonder if I increase my monthly contribution to Collections Crossing, if I can get Disney World popcorn tins as a collection.
You don't need any more popcorn tins.
Well, I just need to know which ones I don't have. Right, 100%.
Yeah. I'm sure you already have a spreadsheet going.
I should.
Yeah. So the nominees were Funko Pop vinyls, World of Nintendo figures, Lego minifigures, Disney Tsum Tsums, and Shopkins.
Yeah. They almost broke 100 votes. Shopkins did.
Yeah, they went for the international vote, and I don't know if they nailed it, but we'll see. You never know how the voting turned out in the end. So without further ado,
well, I should say the fan vote was Funko Pop
Funko Pop vinyls, correct?
Yeah. So
yeah,
and the winner of non-Toys to Life collectible of the year goes to Funko Pop vinyl.
Woo!
Hey-o! Yes, hold that up there.
Can they see it?
Yeah,
I can't stretch any further.
So, nice. Where's my Evilos one? That's up in the
Do you
corner.
want me to go get it?
Yeah, go get it.
Thank goodness for wireless.
So this obviously our hearts goes to Tsum Tsum, like we talk about all the time. I publicly declare it, and I'll continue to say it. Nothing gets me as crazy as Tsum Tsum Tuesday. I live for Tsum Tsum Tuesday.
So do I now.
You're on record as saying that would be the only collection that you would keep if you had.
That's what I was gonna say. If I had to get rid of them, I would keep Tsum Tsum. That's a fact. Mm-hmm. But yeah. So here is my Evilos custom, one of 50. I think it's that pink, which is awesome. Made the invisible Bing Bong. Again, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Inside Out, I don't know what you're doing with your life.
Yeah, really.
Should be listening to this podcast.
Bing Bong. I was going to say, clearance, Target clearance, like holiday clearance, they had that plastic Bing Bong one that you can push the button like the hard plastic guy on sale for $4, I think it was clearance too, down for like 15. Bought that sucker. But
you
yeah.
got that at D23, right?
Yes, yep. So Hot Topic did awesome. It didn't make any sense until you saw the movie. I understood it, but I didn't want to. People were asking me why it's invisible. I don't want to say anything, but it's it's the normal Bing Bong, but now see-through, and then Evilos took the see-through one and then painted it pink. So like this pink see-through to match Bing Bong, but it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So
Funko, like we said, won the fan votes, but also won in the overall voting. Tsum Tsum had a great year. Like Tsum Tsum Takeover is real. That was a tough decision that we had to make, but we decided in the end that Funko overall had a stronger full calendar year. Like you said, at conventions, it makes people form lines that wrap around the block for, convention exclusives, and just everything that they just continued to push out throughout the entire year was incredible.
I mean, people wait all day just to buy Funko, Mm-hmm.
Not for free. Like, they buy
them. Right. And obviously we said about the Tsum Tsum at D23, but that's like a one time you can do it. The Funko, they go on sale at different times, different conventions. But
right.
But even like I said, even from that, it's the random ones they do throughout the year at like Barnes & Noble and Hot Topic, and it's just the explosion of pop vinyl has been unreal in 2015. Obviously we say that every store company known to man has an exclusive somehow. So again, it's huge. So it's right. Hard to say, and obviously that pushes the subscription boxes. So it's a lot there. So they easily dominated the year.
Sure. I mean, definitely look out in 2016 for the Toys for Games exclusive Funko Pop vinyl. I'm hoping.
Oh
yeah.
We need to make that happen. But yeah, I thought they were very deserving, and 2016 is going to be an interesting year. But overall, like looking back, I feel like, especially just from our community, more people decided to get into Funko this year than may have thought about getting into Tsum Tsum. Like there were a few people that got hard into Tsum Tsum, but overall, it seemed like far more people were getting into Funko or getting more serious about Funko. So,
and we said, like you and I talked about, if this was non-Toys of Life collectible of the past 3 months, I think Tsum Tsum beats out Funko.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But but if in the whole year taking a factor, it's definitely Funko.
Yep, absolutely. So let's move on to the customizer of the year. And I'll let you tackle that one, Jason.
Yeah, so customizer of the year, we had 5 nominees, including Evilos, Ganda Chris, Amiibo, Kick Ash, and the Game Changers. So bunch of people across this realm there. Obviously, a lot of them got well known because they're Amiibo customs, but many of those have done Amiibo, Disney Infinity, or Skylanders, or just generic any other kind of modeling as well. So it was nice to feature the different people out there. And again, a lot of them we've got to be able to build some friendships with as well. So
Right.
Obviously, Evolos we've known, gone to Chris, we've gotten to know him better. Both those two we've had on the podcast, and obviously we'd love to have the remaining 3 on there, plus some others on as well. So
Yeah.
so it's all well deserving. And it was a little bit of a harder one to even pick 5 there too, because there's a lot of people that deserved it. And we'll talk, again publicly about it. That the vote was one of the closer votes from top to bottom. I mean, we said before that a lot of them want to vote for each other, just want to support each other. But at the end too, there's different people who like different ones for different reasons, and that's what makes art great, and stuff like that. That there's not one thing that everybody universally says that's the best,
Right.
So it's that's what's great, because each of those have their own unique style. That you can tell, like you look at oh, that's an Evolos custom, or that's a Games Changer custom, or that's a God. That's what makes it great, and that's why it's there's more, easily more people can join in and find success and do everything as well, because there's a lot of realm of change there for it.
Yeah, and like you said, I think this was the category that was the hardest to pick nominations for, just because there are so many talented artists out there, and we know and we've heard of a lot of them, but there are some that we have no clue about, that other people would send in recommendations after the fact and be like, well, what about this person? And I'd go and look in the work and yeah, they're awesome too. I don't know how I didn't know about them, but the customizer scene has just exploded because of Amiibo, which is really awesome for all these talented artists to have this kind of outlet and to get, recognition for their work. But man, narrowing it down to just 5, we had to go with ones that we were familiar with, and trust that we made a good decision with that. But I felt bad because I would have wanted to have everybody out there and let, everybody vote from the community, and it just wasn't feasible. So, unfortunately, just picking the top 5 was tough, because I don't even like calling it the top 5. It was just, 5 of many that, were deserving of this. So no surprise that the voting was as close as it was, also just because of that reason. So, like you said, Gone to Chris won the fan vote, but
by 75 votes. So it's again, very
super close. So let's see who won.
The winner of Customizer of the Year goes to Gone to Chris.
Woo!
Gone to Chris.
Yeah. There you go. You can show
love.
There it is. There's official. So I reached out to her to let her know that she had won, to see if we could get an acceptance speech from her. Unfortunately, her mic broke. She wasn't able to record anything.
Oh, no.
But she did send in a thank you and acceptance speech. So I told her I will do my best not to tear up, because it is going to be on video, so that's going to be kind of awkward. And I'm not going to do her words any justice by reading it. I really wish it could have come from her, but this is the best that we have. So this is what she said after finding out that she won the Customizer of the Year award. She said, I want to thank the many communities involved: Competitive Smash Bros, Amiibo, Disney Infinity, family, and friends. Without them, I wouldn't be where I am today and have the values that are instilled in me. Every custom that leaves my hands are engraved with my love and passion for art. Knowing that it's going home to someone who will value it endlessly only motivates me further to produce high-quality work. There are many custom Amiibo, and behind each one is an amazing artist who respects and loves one another. Evolos, Amiglos, Kickash, Zanarkadowski, Nomads, AK Shop, Pixel Collie, Mr. Space Heater, to name a few. I want to thank them for their part in our community. This past year was filled with endless opportunities, and I have so many people to thank. Wizard World, Caesar, Toys for Games, Amiibo News, Amiibo UCG, Amiibo Alerts, Disney Infinity TV, Disney Infinity, Fwiz from YouTube Gaming, Etika, Vanim Customs, D1, Bassam, Markman from Mad Cats, Victor, AJ Raphael, Swoozy, all my Amiibros, and many more. Sorry if I listed a lot. 2016 will surpass all the previous years, and I have everyone above to thank for it. This award is for you. Very well spoken.
It's very well spoken. And again,
Yeah.
it shows how busy she is too. Like all the outreach there. And again, it's just awesome that you can have all those different people involved.
Right. So I thanked her, so much for everything that she's done for us and building the friendship. And I would like to point out that she thanked us before Amiibo news. So just put that out there.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here too is this is one that Josh actually got me for Christmas gift from Chris, a Captain America Mickey Disney Infinity custom there that Chris made for me. That's a gift from Josh. And then we have this Pikachu. This one's from Evilos. He gave me as a gift at E3, which is awesome. And you got one as well.
Yep.
And Amiibo Jason has one as well. And then one that I bought recently because I just love this one. It's a Metal Mario. Again, somehow magically in that box, which still just blows my mind.
Yeah.
I don't know how
that's a trade secret that I don't think anybody will ever tell us.
Yeah, that's sorcery. But pretty cool there. Again, Elis is cool. He signs in the bottom there. 3 of 15. So pretty cool. So again, would love to get more. Like I'm totally down for. Like I love art. Eventually, like in my house, like we said before, we did the customs. Like I have the most respect out of anything in the world of people who can have ability to paint because it's the like literally probably the one main characteristic that I'm just horrendous at. Like I have no skill whatsoever at like any kind of creating art. So it gains that much more respect for people. So like I love to hopefully at some point once I get the house all figured out and get that second story on, to like commission like a bunch of my friends or just random people, just like hey, just make a piece of artwork that you want to make. Like I have no requirements now. I just want to hang it up. It'd just be fun to have just random people that I know as artwork hanging up in the house. Because again, I love art, so I'm loving all his custom themes. Love being able to buy and support all our friends who do this stuff.
Right, and hopefully next month we get our second round of Rookie Mistakes customs for a cure underway. Still need to plan that up. Mm-hmm.
Jeez Louise.
I was gonna do it this month, but I was like, with the award show and everything else, like we need to space it out just a little bit. So, customs for a cure, second chances will be coming in February sometime.
Second chances.
Third
time's a charm, right?
Third time will be a charm, hopefully. So I mean, we've met so many awesome artists over the year, and anybody was deserving of winning this, but she definitely stood out among a group of amazing people, and couldn't have picked anybody better to lead that group of customizers and artists. So congratulations to her and to everybody.
Agreed.
Next up,
Retailer
of the year. The nominees were Amazon.com, Toys R Us, Best Buy, Target, and Walgreens. So this wasn't just any old retailer. This was retailers that were specifically involved with the Toys to Life community in some way, shape, or form. I know a lot of people may have thought that Walgreens was a joke, but I mean, the fact that they even carry Toys to Life in the first place was enough to get them on this list.
Again, for Skylanders, they were a secret spot for getting hard to find traps and characters. They literally were.
Yeah, out of nowhere. So they deserve to make the list. Obviously, we did not put a few retailers on here. We didn't go international with it. We just don't have enough knowledge to do that. Although, if we had known ahead of time that there was going to be a retailer in New Zealand that was going to be stocking Skylanders Battlecast cards, that might have made the list. But
was it the warehouses thing is one, and something else I think they were called. There's 2 retailers that's selling them. Right.
So out of those 5 nominees, the fan vote was Amazon, but it wasn't overwhelming. It was relatively close. So let's find out who actually won.
I don't have the drum already.
Okay.
Pause for dramatic effect.
Pause for dramatic effect. This one's an important one.
And the retailer of the year goes to Toys R Us.
Hey,
Woo!
Toys R Us.
Now this is one that we're definitely going to have to break down here.
Yes.
This one was one of the ones that took a while. Not because we were in disagreement of it, but we needed to fully flesh out that we were picking the right one.
Right.
Toys R Us did place second in the fan voting, so it wasn't completely out of left field. But there were a lot of caveats that we just had to toss in there. Target, we just didn't feel like they were strong enough overall. Like, they didn't go above and beyond. The whole Rosalina fiasco, I think, soured a lot of people. Even though they did improve with Amiibo over the year, like that still hurt people's feelings.
Physical stores, they were either first or second, depending who you ask, between Toys R Us and Target for Amiibo released.
Yeah, and when you got like good cartwheel deals and whatnot, they were great. But the others, though, obviously were a little bit better. Best Buy, definitely, with the Gamers Club Unlocked, like price wise, that was the place to go. But stock wasn't always as good as we would have liked in store. They had issues also. It was tough, but we had to exclude them. Amazon was the tricky one. And as they did some really good things with the Amiibo community. When the big Amiibo waves were coming out, they made sure that they had like a listing and like a schedule of when they were all going to come out, so that people could be ready and whatnot. And that was great for the Amiibo community. But they didn't really do anything above and beyond for the other communities, and that's what we had to look at. Like you pointed out, they do Sunday deliveries, and they chose not to for Disney Infinity and Skylanders, and they not or Lego Dimensions either, right? Mm-mm. So like release day, those games, if you're ordering from Amazon, you didn't get until Monday or Tuesday. Right. Whereas you could go into a store and pick those up on release day. And with this genre, the release day of these games is the biggest day for them. And that's why we had to weigh their contributions to the Amiibo community and the Amiibo releases with the release of the games themselves. And that's why we had to go with Toys R Us, because Toys R Us did a midnight release for Skylanders. Yep. They opened up early for Disney Infinity and Lego Dimensions. And that all, includes getting more employees into the store earlier than expected. Their stock is always on point. Like, yep. Even the Amiibo, that was like, it was the store that everybody went to because they were going to have the most available.
Right.
And yes, they do charge a little bit more. We've definitely poked fun at the Jeffrey tax once or twice on this show.
Jeffrey tax. When you get both together, that's a deadly combo.
Woo! Unless it's $1 off, and then no more Jeffrey buck.
Yeah.
I feel so stupid about that. So we had to take that in consideration, but when you look at it, that extra $1 is definitely going to them being able to acquire more product and be able to have an entire section of their store dedicated to Toys to Life, not just one aisle with everything kind of fighting over shelf space and pegs and everything like that. They have 2 aisles of each franchise pretty much, and that's a big thing. And also, like you said, we wouldn't be here probably without Toys R Us's dedication to Skylanders in the first place.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was gonna say, it's each franchise they push out. If there's an exclusive to be had, they go and get it. Obviously Disney Infinity this year chose not to really do any exclusives per se, besides the like effects kind of things. But they're the ones who wanted the crystal figures first. They're the only ones that had any kind of Lego Dimensions one. One was time, one's still exclusive. Skylanders, they have their exclusive, and then they'll have some official timed exclusives, some not timed exclusives. They just get it out there first. Mm-hmm. And so Amiibo, anything like that. So it's if you think Toys to Life, you think Toys R Us. You really should. Again, Amazon's great. It's convenient. They had that 50% off sale, but its packs are sold out. That's 2 to 5 weeks to get them in there, for a while there. Again, although it's 2016, so it doesn't necessarily count. people order them, said they were supposed to arrive today, and now they're getting back ordered 2 weeks emails. You know, they didn't get notice of that till today. You know, so there's some stuff going on with Amazon, and again, Toys R Us is one who takes risks, in my opinion, as far as making deals on there. Amazon, they don't ever really offer deals. They price match, but they don't take that initiative to add on deals. There are deals that Disney Infinity puts on, like they'll switch each retailer. That's why you see like one really good Disney Infinity deal at different retailers each week, because Disney Infinity's pushing that deal. But Toys R Us are definitely taking some deals on their own. They're the only retailer to make any kind of Lego Dimension sales for a couple weeks there. There's nothing except for them. And again, it's just their commitment to Toys to Life is humongous and should not go unmatched. So again, we give jokes on to Jeffrey Buck all the time, but again, you can oftentimes get on sale if you have, like I do, if you have the Toys R Us credit card, freaking every Thursday you get 10% off, and then Saturdays in the fall, please, there's ways to get some discounts there as well, and they have their rewards program. It's not the best thing in the world, but it's something. It's something. Yeah. It's always great at the end of the year, because I'll get nothing throughout the year, and then like just recently I get an email like, your $60 reward certificate's ready. I'm like, holy crap.
Right. Yeah. Well, they just pop up out of nowhere. I'm like, yes. Shopping trip. With Amazon, to fully take advantage of what Amazon offers, which is, the Prime and the free 2-day shipping and everything like that, you need to be a Prime member, which is an expensive entry point. So you have to take that in consideration also, because that's how you get the best prices and the sales on the things, as being a Prime member. So, right off the bat, you're already investing into it. And, if you shop a lot from Amazon, you do eventually make your money back in what you pay for the membership. But, we had to weigh that also. So
yep.
It was a tough category. There was a good discussion that was had about that. But in the end, we feel that Toys R Us represents the Toys to Life community the best overall, and they had another good year. They did everything that they possibly could, beginning to end, with stock and releases and everything like that. So
the one thing they did that broke my heart is they closed down the New York City store. They got rid of my Ferris wheel, so I don't really know, but they're building a big one in New Jersey, so we'll see what happens.
There we go.
Right near Ken, so I'm going to go visit Ken, and we're going to go hang out at Toys R Us all day.
Jersey's
there
a
we
little
go.
Closer.
Yeah.
All right. Moving right along, we have the Twitter account of the year.
Twitter account of the
Right.
year. That we teased this earlier.
Did we?
About this is one of the ones that took us.
Oh, right. I thought you meant earlier in the day, because today has been just a blur.
What a day.
Top to bottom. So the nominees for Twitter account of the year were at Nintendo America, at Disney Infinity, at Lego Dimensions, at Skylanders Games, and at Toys R Us. Through Toys R Us in there, they managed to make their way into the nominations just because of a back and forth Twitter exchange that they had with the Skylanders account over about 3 days. Which was fantastic, and it was the most entertaining thing I had seen on Twitter in a long time, as far as like company interaction goes.
There was a legit battle going on. You could join in and stuff.
Right, so I had to include the Toys R Us Twitter account into these nominations.
Some of our like Toys for Games followers got retweeted, like got featured in that stuff. Whenever I tweeted my picture of my Stealth Elf army, I never got any. I've tried so many times.
They agree with Stealth Elf, I think. The fan vote went to at Nintendo America, Nintendo's Twitter accounts. But let's go ahead and see what the final votes were.
And the winner of Twitter account of the year goes to Disney Infinity. At Disney Infinity.
At Disney Infinity.
That's how Twitter works, Vince.
Hey, that's not what the card says. That's not my fault. I read the cards.
Hey.
Technical issues on the back end. Yeah, you want to talk about this one, Jason?
Yeah, so, sorry, man, Flash he's getting antsy, man. He's just slowly, he's
He's slowly getting antsy.
Yeah, so we talked about this again. We broke this down a lot. There was no. I mean, I'll put it this way: there was no clear-cut favorite. I don't necessarily say it in a bad way either, but it wasn't like one did some, increasingly better than the other one. We like Toys R Us, but that was also kind of the first ones we could kind of alleviate from there. But but they do pretty good. Lego Dimensions is alright, but again, like we said before, there's no news or anything, so it's kind of like it's just random like magazine ads you'll get. You know what I mean? It's just like it's just the middle of February or the middle of January. So let's just talk about Wonder Woman. Like it's just there's no rhyme or reason for what they do. I mean, they
do the best with what they have to work with.
They live for release day, and that's it. So, and then so us down Nintendo America, Disney Infinity, and Skylanders, and this was when it started getting a little tighter here. Skylanders game we liked, but then same thing that there were just tweets and stuff like that just didn't make any sense. It was just randomly just random again, and then stuff that they'll feature that's not even out yet, and like not even announced. Like, wait, is that your announcement tweet? Is that like saying it's coming soon, or is that like stuff about like future waves? So like, wait, is that so? Just random. So they do well in fan feedback. Some of the stuff is a little bit behind. Like, I think it was like Matt Ken and I tweeted something at Skylanders game like a week and a half later. They're like, oh yeah, like thanks, blah blah blah. It's like, what in the world? Like,
where have you been?
Yeah, I don't remember tweeting that. So they did well. They did fan interaction, have some funnier stuff, do some great stuff with there. But again, stuff like that. I would say the Lego Dimensions recently, which is helping, they do have their own dedicated customer support Twitter account, which is a huge plus for them as well. But then so let's down to Nintendo America and Disney Infinity.
Well, we did give Lego major bonus points for how they handled the launch of Lego Dimensions because nobody had ever played Lego Dimensions before, and a lot of people that got it on day one had a lot of questions and were confused by a lot of things, and they were busy that entire weekend answering as many questions as they could. Like, they knocked it out of the park on release day. So they got bonus points for that, but wasn't enough to carry them.
I didn't think about it till now, but as we talk about good tweets, when they tweeted and talked about the video about vehicles and Lego Dimensions the day before the day of the Skylanders announcement, remember that?
Yep.
I think it was the day before. So well done on that. So left out in Nintendo America and Disney Infinity. Nintendo America has full force because of a tweet you reminded me of back in February. Do you have the tweet at all? It'll take me too long to find it. I tweeted it out. You can pull it up. So we talked about
tweet out from your
Jason Inquires.
Okay.
But yeah, so we were talking about that they do some good stuff, but 95+% of it is Nintendo based, not just Amiibo based, and obviously it's Twitter account a year and the Toys to Life community. So although they do a great job, it's a little bit unfair to look at it in that aspect. You have to almost have to look at it from an Amiibo standpoint. And they do some great stuff, like, but mostly when they have the directs. But when other stuff's happening, obviously it's not necessarily it's because leaks and other stuff like that. But there's never really any clear information from them. But like we even said before, when we're looking back trying to find if they did this or that.
Here's the one tweet.
Yeah, go ahead.
From Nintendo America said, soaring through the sky.
On a date. You have to say the date.
February 25th, 2015. Soaring through the skies, powering up Kirby in Rainbow Curse. The Meta Knight Amiibo looks awesome, doing it all.
So this is like, what, 5 days after Meta Knight came out? I forget what day. It was sometime in February, but...
Right. Back when nobody could ever find any Amiibo that were released. And the first tweet in response to that was, too bad no one can blank get it. And it was just every reply after that was just people absolutely losing their minds because Nintendo is like pretty much, hey, do you get this cool Amiibo? And everybody's like, no, clearly nobody got this Amiibo. Thank you for reminding that to us all. So
it wasn't even like it was like it wasn't like they showed a picture of what it could do in the game, something like that. I just posted this epic picture of it like flying in the air, like actually the Amiibo, like
skyline and everything. Fantastic.
So we said there was a lot of support just because of that one tweet, but we're going through them. We did some research on it again. This is what took so long. We went back. they never once confirmed that like it was only available. The modern 8-bit Mario is only available in single packaging at Walmart. Like they didn't even announce that on there. You know, so stuff like that. So the better Amiibo account is the freaking Nintendo World Store. You know, versus
right.
Nintendo America, but still. So then we're like sitting with Disney Infinity. They do a lot of interactions. They do a lot of retweets. They do a lot of personal reaching out. They do a lot of PR words and speaks, and people, you know, they do some negative stuff like me all the time. Like when they say like, "Well, anything's possible," or "Wouldn't that be cool?" People are like, "Does this mean anything?" No, it does not mean anything. And so, but they do some stuff, and they do their best. So basically, it came down to if you thought of it from a Toys of Life perspective, Disney Infinity ended up having the edge over Nintendo of America. So
yeah, but Nintendo almost won it with one single tweet.
Troll.
Their troll game was on point.
On point.
But we had to give it to, you know, the weight was definitely heavier for interaction and advancing the community as opposed to entertainment value because, man, that was funny. I'll tell you that. So, very deserving of Twitter account of the year. That's at Disney Infinity, of course. Next up, this is the one that got the internet all riled up. This is the one that broke our website a few different times. This is the one that made the first annual Toys for Games Awards actually feel like it means something. And day one, you know, after posting the nominees and everything, it was like, okay, if these people are going to take this seriously, then we're doing something right here. And that, of course, is the Ambassador of the Year. And basically, the goal was to pinpoint the person who best represented a specific, not necessarily community, but brand and franchise in the Toys to Life genre. So the nominees were Greg Miller from Kinda Funny, representing LEGO Dimensions, Brandon Jones from Game Trailers, representing Disney Infinity, Brian Altano, brap, 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 from IGN, representing Amiibo, and Robert Welkner from CoinOp TV, representing Skylanders SuperChargers. The fan vote went to Greg Miller. And if you were to ask him, we owe him several hundred more votes because of the people that were not
1,000 votes is what you're saying. Too.
That's possible because the people that quote weren't able to vote because our website was broken. You know, I'm sorry you and your audience broke our website, Greg Miller, but it's the best that we could do. So the fan vote was to Greg Miller, but let's go ahead and see what the envelope says.
And the winner for Ambassador of the Year, there's no drum roll.
Man,
it's okay.
Greg's gonna kill me. Hold on. There we go.
All right, the winner, Ambassador of the Year, goes to Greg Miller.
Mr. Greg Miller.
Right up in there.
From Kinda Funny, representing LEGO Dimensions.
Thank you so much, Toys for Games, for naming me Ambassador of the Year. I'll tell you what, I didn't expect to, these Toys to Life games. I live in a small San Francisco apartment. I never expected to get into them the way I did, but I love LEGO Dimensions, and I'm happy that, I think the reason you guys, well, first off, I rigged the vote, so I won that part. But then you guys said I get in the room and argue, I know. And I think my strength in this is the fact that I am the outsider, right? That I did come to this and bring a whole bunch of fans who maybe also weren't into Toys to Life and then find something that connects with it. And so, it's one of those things, of course, I want to thank Nicole Tan. I want to thank you for voting for me and making it work out there, everybody else. But really, hats off to TT Games for making just something that's really special. LEGO Dimensions is awesome, not only for the fact that it's more awesome LEGO games, but they could have screwed it up on so many ways and they didn't. They took all these different franchises, put them in with this tender loving care, put them in with this fan service in a way that everybody really, really digs it. So it's a game I'm happy to be the ambassador for. I'm happy to try to get it to as many people, and I'm happy to continue to talk about it until they put in, I want Uncharted in there. Neil Druckmann's already said that he's in, so that's easy. I'd like to see Walking Dead, but I know that's tough. So maybe just Invincible, we could get in there. Go back and get the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Get them away from Mega Bloks. Put them back in there. And then give me Ghostbusters 2 as a level pack. I know, nobody's favorite Ghostbusters flick, but do it. Oh, also, go back and put in more trophies for all the open worlds, all the hub worlds, you know what I mean? Like, put out the DLC for Wave 4. This is a long thing. I'll write this down and send it to TT Games. Thank you.
All right, so thank you, Greg, for your acceptance speech, and we are honored to award you the Ambassador of the Year. So, Jason, I'll go ahead and let you break down this one.
Yeah, so we broke it down here to it all. I mean, you can give the reason why we kicked Brian out. Why did we kick Brian out?
Because he publicly stated on a podcast that he had boxed up most of his Amiibo collection because they just were taking up too much space, and he just wanted to clean it up. So I'm like, you know what?
Get out of here, Brian.
Out of here.
So we kicked him out. Robert Welkener, we love the guy. Really, really great friend of mine. But again, it's one of those, again, if this has been 2014, 2013, he's been doing it for a while, but it's one of those who did 2015 the best, per se, or anything like that. So then it broke it down to Greg and Brandon. And again, we had this long debate about this going back and forth.
Right.
Which again, both of us felt we're both earning of it, but again, we just had this, a little bit of nudge either way. So legit, we talked about it. I brought out the dictionary.com definition of ambassador. Like, we went nuts on this thing.
Right.
So then we tweeted it out. There might be an arm wrestle going down. Here's the thing. We know they're both going to E3. Maybe some other places we might go. We're going to make this arm wrestle happen. Something like it's going to go down in person. We'll let Brandon Jones have a chance to earn his chance back.
Yes.
But again, Brandon Jones does a weekly thing on Tuesdays at Toy Box, weekly special on game trailers. Greg Miller's obviously getting into LEGO Dimensions. Recently had a special Let's Play that went live at midnight on Monday night, Tuesday morning, dressed up in his Ghostbusters costumes that he made. He has 2 of them because why not?
Yeah, just in case you need a partner.
And although it's not LEGO Dimensions per se, he's in the new LEGO Marvel Avengers game.
Mm-hmm. Voice actor.
Yeah, as a voice actor.
Yeah.
So, playing Killian. But yeah, so it was back and forth there. Like I said, we could both see him deserving. But then what Josh and I, we talked about before, and it's what we kind of agreed on the last point there, was that we felt Greg did more to push the Toys of Life brand of LEGO Dimensions, or really anything, if you want to, into an unfamiliar, unwelcoming community per se. Brandon does a great job with Disney Infinity. He pushes that on the thing, but a lot of times it's people who are already interested in it. But Greg, with his showing kind of funny or stuff like that, that it's a lot of people who aren't into Toys of Life per se. There's a lot of people who are now trying LEGO Dimensions because of that. We felt that was a greater ambassador award of it, just because he's pushing that more into it. So, and again, it's hard to get behind his excitement for how much he was loving LEGO Dimensions and Ghostbusters and everything like that, and how much he was freaking out. So we felt that was what kind of put him over the edge, the fact that he's pushing it into unsafe waters per se.
Sure. Yeah, Brandon has done a phenomenal job within the Disney Infinity community, and being an ambassador for that game, for the audience that he has. But that audience that he has is already there to enjoy the Disney Infinity experience, whereas Greg jumps on and he talks to an audience that wants to hear about PlayStation and everything else that's going on with him in his life. And he's like, no, we're going to sit down and we're going to talk about toys. And you're going to watch me build these toys for a half hour dressed in Ghostbusters jumpsuit. And if you don't like it, go away. But, he did the most to push the genre to an audience that didn't necessarily already have investment in the genre. So that's what it came down to. It was close. It was way more of a discussion than I was ready for. The back and forth Twitter banter between the two was phenomenal. Go back and check that out on Twitter. But very, very deserving guys, both of them. So, but in the end, Greg Miller, kind of funny. Ambassador of the Year. Next up, we have the Community of the Year.
Community of the Year.
The nominees, of course, were Amiibo, Disney Infinity, LEGO Dimensions, Skylanders, and the Toys for Games community. The fan vote went to Amiibo.
Mm-hmm.
But
let's
see what the envelope says.
And the winner, or the lack of drum roll,
And
Dramatic
Joe now.
pause.
Here we go.
And the winner, the community of the year, goes to Disney Infinity.
The Disney Infinity
Right up in
community.
there.
That's right.
So,
Right.
this one is a video exclusive reaction. So, this is for reaction to Amiibo bidding the fan vote for it. Here's the thing. If you don't know anything about Amiibo, if you knew one thing in 2015, it was how crazy the community was. You know, they got better, but that was the thing.
Yeah.
You know, people always talked about was the community of art, like, not even just on Reddit, but just everywhere. You know, again, like that Twitter account. Whether it was justified or not, that was what you knew about it. So, it's again, that was the storyline of the year, you know, one of the Amiibos, one of the top 5. So,
Yeah.
You just can't give it to Amiibo. They do some great stuff now. I mean, obviously some great customization on there, stuff like that. I mean, there's some nice, obviously, Jason's doing some great charity stuff. There's some other great aspects with it as well. But there's still a lot more sourness in that than any other community, and that's not even like wrong to say. That's just a fact.
And hopefully that changes for 2016. You know,
100%.
with everything that is so positive about Amiibo right now, like hopefully that isn't the big knock on the Amiibo community in 2016. I have full confidence that it'll be a complete turnaround. But 2015, man, was an ugly year for the Amiibo community overall.
Right. I mean, it's like you know, Skylanders announces a new figure. Like, oh, I don't really like that one as the other one, but it's okay. Disney Infinity. That's kind of dumb. I'm getting kind of mad. Which there's more female figures. It's kind of frustrating. Blah 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 blah. Move on. Lego Dimensions. What was there to complain about? You know, fantastic. But then like you get Amiibo, Animal Crossing. Get that junk out of here, Scarlett. Get that junk out of here. You know, like it's like I say all the time. Go read Jason's tweets and like the responses to them, and you tell me it's community of the year. Yeah. So, that's our feeling on that. But then, like, break it down, Lego Dimensions doesn't have a community at the moment for better for worse.
Well, like you put it, the Lego Dimensions community is made up of people from other communities. Everybody that seemed to get into Lego Dimensions already kind of fit into a community. You know, that's the melting pot, essentially, is Lego Dimensions. But they don't have, like, a strong, like, community themselves.
Right. Skylanders has a community.
Choke on that popcorn.
Nah, that's gonna happen. It's all right.
Vince, you know the Heimlich?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
He's certified.
I wouldn't tell people that.
Is that against the law? Like, are you allowed to tell people you're certified when you're not certified?
No, I'm pretty sure it's illegal.
Nah, well.
Yeah, I don't think it.
I mean,
matters.
somebody could probably sue you if you really mess up, but
We'll put the unpaid intern and figuring the research on that.
back on.
Skylanders community lives.
You've never listened to the show, have you, Vince?
No, but I'm here to keep him on topic.
Okay.
But not really.
Instagram and like Dark Spyro and stuff like that. And obviously Matt does a good job on stuff like that. But like I said, for the Instagram, Skylanders community is crazy. Dark Spyro is a little bit chaos there. So full credit to Matt, he does a really great job with the community. But again, it's not like there's a unifying front with it all. But then when we broke down to Disney Infinity, they have multiple weekly shows. They have live shows. They have very people in front of it. You can be on a first name base with those people. Mm-hmm. There's both people even in official roles or unofficial roles who are happy to help you out. I mean, you can just tweet like a question at Disney Infinity, and 5 people who aren't even included in the tweet are just searching on Twitter trying to figure out how to help people, and they'll tweet back. So go back and forth with them there. Is there a lot of backlash and stuff in the Disney community? Absolutely. I don't know anyone who stirs that pot, but that is a possibility. But still, at the end of the day,
sometimes the pot needs stirred.
Sometimes the pot needs stirred. At the end of the day, I still think Disney Infinity came out ahead.
Well, one of the biggest things they have is the Toy Box TV thing, right? And they filmed their 100th episode of that from the living room of a fan of Disney Infinity.
Right.
Like they just showed up to his house, with his mom's permission, without him knowing, because he runs. It was Joseph Gamboa.
Yep.
Right. Runs a fan site and very involved with community, and Toy Box TV showed up to his house to film episode 100 from his living room. Like that's crazy. You don't see anybody else doing that kind of thing. And
again, like same thing. They had a Toy Box Summit, which was 2014 was like, it was a couple days, but 2015 was a 2-day event that they flew, paid for, put up in a hotel, gave Disneyland tickets, and then anybody who wanted to go put it in and got accepted got Disneyland passes. I mean, all this money investing into the people of the game, unbelievable. And then they live streamed it on Twitch too, and it was a hit on there. It's hard to argue for a better community than Disney Infinity as far as overall kind of thing.
Yeah, they were the community of the year, but they're not the best community ever.
Nope.
No.
That's, of course, the Toys for Games community.
It's true.
# best community ever. So, Disney Infinity community had a better year. Overall, though,
Toys for Games.
you guys know who won.
Another live tweet from the audience. From Shopkins Inquirer. Jason's musical intermission of a salute to all toys / games, but mostly Tsum Tsums, was fantastic. But 3 encores?
Why aren't we streaming this live? Like this. Next time we do something like this, we're streaming it live. I want actual interaction from these people. Although we'll never get anything done. Like, the show would just be off the rails. We would still be at Inquirer of the Year at this point. So yeah, that was the community of the year, Disney Infinity. So there you have it. Next up was community leader of the year.
Dun dun dun.
There, that fancy envelope.
Bam.
This was one of my most
fancy.
anticipated categories.
Yes, this was a lot of fun. The nominees were Matt Sonnenberg, Jason Ganos. I'm sorry,
Who?
Matt Sonnenberg from Skylanders character list. Jason number 2.
Who?
Jason number 2
Oh, that guy.
from Amiibo
That guy.
News.
That guy. I forgot about him.
Allison Petrick from Toy Box TV.
Yep.
Let's see, Lloyd Hannison and Will Kelly from Inside Dimensions, and Lauren Moosney. Do you know how to pronounce her last name?
Sounds good to
I don't know
me.
if I've ever had to say it. Moosney, Musney, from
Lauren.
Nintendo Inquirer. The overall fan vote was Matt Sonnenberg, from Skylanders character list.
Mm-hmm.
Hotly contested category.
Yep.
But let's go ahead and check the envelope and see who won.
And the winner for Community Leader of the Year goes to Matt Sonnenberg. SCL Matt. I can't read.
There you go. I'm a little dyslexic.
Yay, Matt.
That's why I'm the intern.
Good job, Matt. We actually have an acceptance speech / video from Matt that we will cut to now. And when we come back, we will break down this category.
Wow. Thank you. I'm honored to win this award. First of all, I would like to thank the Academy, the Skylanders Academy, that is, as well as all the loyal fans of SkylandersCharacterList.com. I only had one vote, and to be perfectly honest, I didn't even vote for myself. So, thanks to all of you for making this possible. From the beginning, it has been my goal to help as many people as possible, whether it was the kids that were playing the games or the parents and grandparents that are doing all the shopping. I wanted to make the Skylanders experience something that everyone could enjoy. So, thank you for allowing me to lead, but thank you even more for coming together as a community and being willing to help each other as much as you can, especially when I was unable to, for whatever reason. Finally, I'd like to take a minute to thank Josh and Jason from Toys for Games, not only for hosting these awards tonight, which have been amazing, but for helping me to connect with more people, to grow the community, and to become a better leader. Over the past year, they've really shown me that I'm capable of a lot more than I realized, and as I continue to work with them over the years to come, I think that you'll start to see the results of this too. So, thanks again. I love you all. Good night.
All right. Well, thank you, Matt, for your fantastic acceptance speech. The Skylander Academy obviously helped propel you to this prestigious award. So Jason, what do you think?
I think it was a great decision. Was phenomenal to watch this because, again, it was, if pushed to the limit, obviously I don't think Allison was going to market it too much. She did like the vote. She did say something about she was appreciated being included on that. She's excited to be on there. Lloyd and Will were also excited, and they used their push to push out there. And then Lauren was excited, and then Matt and Jason. Matt originally said he was excited to go vote, but that was it. Like he was just done, going to do the one tweet, and I was afraid of Jason and his freaking Amiibo army that they were going to do it. And then he was like looking at it and realizing that Jason was thinking he was going to be a runaway victor with this thing, and so he just kind of stopped paying attention to it. And Matt slowly chipped away at it, and then there he goes. Jason pulls close, and he's in second.
Yeah, Jason sent me a tweet midday Sunday, and he was like, "What? The polls are closed? I thought it went through today." I'm like, dude, do you not read anything or listen to anything any of us say? Like, it ended at 12:01 a.m. Like, we need time to figure this out before Tuesday, And he was like so mad because he was going to do like one last minute push. It's like, you had almost 2 weeks. 2 weeks, bro, as community leader of the year. You would think that you would be able to rally your community, and you have the biggest community behind you. Jason number 2 couldn't do it, man. You could not lead your community to victory.
Right.
Plain and simple.
Plain and simple. And am I allowed to tell the story behind this
Go
award?
for it.
So we were thinking about this award, and we were thinking about rigging it from the get-go to allow Lauren to win. Like, we're going to push the polls just because we know how mad Jason would be if Lauren won.
Right.
But then once we saw, like, Matt started, like, winning it, we're like, oh my gosh, this is actually happening. So it went from, like, if Jason number 1 won the fan vote, we would have gave it to Lauren, like, 100%. Like, if Jason number 2 won it, sorry.
You're number 1.
I'm number 1, that's right. That we would have gave it to Lauren. But no. So, like, but then it was great because then we get to take this award. Not we weren't taking it seriously, but now we get to actually take it more seriously with it. Matt did a great job, won in there. Again, 2015's been still the year of Skylanders with Matt. Still doing incredible stuff over there. As we said before, I'm a competitive person, but I'm also someone who respects competition. Like, obviously, if you're in this business per se, you want, it's competition, but by no means have I ever felt any kind of mean slight or anything like that with Matt, and that's why I appreciate about him so much. I don't want to say it's small, I don't know if I would say it's a laundry list or not of items that like irk me about other fan sites or other stuff in the business. There's a couple things. There's stuff that gets you on the bad side very quickly with me, and makes me legit lose respect for your fan site or your business. So, but it's not like it's hard to do that. But again, it's just Matt doing a great job. Doing stuff, it's basically stuff from sourcing sources, being involved in the community, giving credit where credit's due. And again, I say all the time, beautifully written website. If you ever have any questions, you go read there. This website is written better than any kind of resource you could possibly read. It's unbelievable. So it makes me really mad when I write my Skylanders articles because I have to delete it like 15 times, like I'm writing a college essay because I get so mad.
Right.
I'm like, this is not how Matt would write it. And so back up. But again, it's great.
And people don't rely on Matt for like breaking sales news or like up to the seconds like release dates or anything, but they rely on him for solid, unbreakable information. And he doesn't run with rumors or speculation. Everything is well researched, and he knows a lot of people. And he does his due diligence before he puts out any information because he wants to make sure that the community that he is catering to has the best information possible. And that, for me personally, was what made this that choice for Matt.
And it's great because there's days when either I'm busy with doing, bajillion other things, that Matt does stuff, and I'll just share his stuff. So I'm like, hey, this is going on here. Head over to Matt, stuff like, especially the Hearthstone stuff. And Matt's like, yo, if you want to know about this, Jason's doing a great job over there. And it's great. It's a wonderful partner in there. Respect each other. And again, he's just doing a great job for the Skylanders community.
Yep.
And I say all the time, say this publicly. Again, you and I can both talk about this publicly here, but a lot of times you have, just in this business, you have to use giveaways to grow. It's just one of the easiest ways to grow. And
sure.
For the years building up to that, Matt did hardly any giveaways, but grew his Facebook community, which he did to an unbelievable number. If you think how high his Skylanders followers are, without really doing
organically.
organically just because it's that well, and that's the best kind of following you want to have, and that's why his following is so secure, so great, because it's not just a giveaway built community, which is not a huge interactive community. It's because people like that page because they want to like that page. So
Right.
He does a great job.
Yep. So congratulations, Matt.
Excellent job, my friend.
For Community Leader of the Year. Moving right along, we have a news story of the year. Is that the correct order?
Yes.
We jumbled up a little bit here. Is that what the envelope says?
I
Yes.
believe so.
News story of the year. Da, da, da. So the nominees were Star Wars coming to Disney Infinity, the Amiibo Skylanders merger, Amiibo made out of yarn, the Lego Dimensions reveal, and Portal 2 in Lego Dimensions. The fan vote went to Star Wars coming to Disney Infinity. But let's see what the envelope says.
Man, I wasn't even prepared again. I'm getting so antsy now.
He's so
We're
antsy.
starting to get to the meat of the vote, so it's
Yeah.
News story of the year goes to Amiibo Skylanders merger.
ooh.
Controversial.
Controversy. So yeah, this is another one that we talked about for a while. I mean, we started with the Lego Dimension stuff, worked from there. I mean, we talked about whether or not Portal 2, and we somewhat kind of involved that too, like some of the other surprising non-Lego franchises into Lego Dimensions, whether that was a bigger deal than the Lego Dimensions reveal, because we said that not that we saw Lego Dimensions, but it wasn't shocking to us that it was coming. It was just kind of exciting that it was coming.
Right.
And then the same thing with the Amiibo Made of Yarn was incredible and awesome, but it still wasn't like the craziest thing in the world. So then it left us down to the Amiibo Skylanders merger and the Star Wars coming to Disney Infinity. Both huge news stories, both defined Toys of Life of 2015. But what we came down to is that Star Wars, again, not nearly at the fall of their own, but we've known Star Wars is coming eventually. I mean, when Day 1 was announced, people were like, when's Star Wars coming? Then we got the lightsaber in 1.0. And if we are getting the lightsaber, which is like the copyrightedest thing in Star Wars, you know what I mean? Like you can't use that word. You have to go like what do they call them? Like LED swords, I think is what they call them.
Sword.
Yeah, LED laser swords, I think is the like approved name you can use. So like if you got a lightsaber in Disney Infinity 1.0, Star Wars is coming.
Yeah.
So and then obviously we got the Land Spear in 2.0, and then the entire
And then
time
Force Awakens coming out this year.
like since day one, 2.0 was just like it was just every press release was ending about oh we don't know the Force, but 2016 is not that far away. It's not like good God, can you make it any more obvious?
Right.
So it's still a big news story, but again, it was one of those since we just knew it was coming, we just didn't think it was the news story of the year.
It was big though. It was huge.
It was huge. I mean, it's like a team winning the Super Bowl. It's huge, but it's
Especially with how the overall community felt about Disney Infinity 2.0, and how many people either jumped ship or were ready to jump ship from Disney Infinity, the franchise as a whole, because of how disappointing 2.0 was.
Yes.
Like they needed Star Wars, and that was big for them for sure.
Right.
But
then we talked about the Amiibo Skylanders merger, and again, you broke the first half of it, and I broke the second half of it. That these coming through, and it's like, who would think this? Nobody would think this in their right mind, Like I said, that's legit like saying DC Comics coming to Disney Infinity. Like what are you talking about? It makes no sense whatsoever. And it's again,
that's like the MCU calling up DC and being like, "Hey, can we borrow Batman for this next movie?" Like,
so
what?
Yeah, as we say all the time, even though they're not like, you might not view them as direct competition because they serve two kind of different purposes. At the end of the day, we said they fight for the same aisle, same shelf space, same money under the Christmas tree, everything else, they fight for. And the fact that you're teaming up, like, what are you talking about? So
and Nintendo does not license out their characters ever for anything.
Right.
Huge. And we heard the rumors of it just a few days before E3. Going into it, we're like, this might be a possibility, but there was nothing substantial to like back it up at all. And that announcement at E3, when we're sitting there in the hotel room watching the Nintendo Direct, I mean, the whole room lost their mind. They're like, there's no way that just happened at all. That was a mic drop moment.
I'll have to go back and remember how they started it. But I think they teased it a little bit, and then once they said about blah 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 from Activision, like I remember looking at Josh, I'm like, oh my god, Josh, it's freaking happening! Like, unbelievable.
I mean, even with the information that we had, there was still so much doubt that it was like, there's no way this is going to happen. This is stupid. Right. No way Nintendo would join Skylanders. No. And there it was. And then it was at E3, you know, like they had the characters and it was massive. So
right, that's the other crazy thing too, is that they had the figures there.
Not only did they have them, they were playable.
Right. Like, so
that was amazing.
Yeah, like not that they had them ready to go, they were coded, they were
B&H did not have that leak. I mean, seriously though, nobody had pictures, nobody had anything up until that moment. Incredible.
The two hints we had was because of you were listening to Giant Bomb's podcast, and Jeff Gertzman said he was talking to Skylanders person, I think it was, or
Activision,
Activision. It said about I forget how you worded about something about
they were working with a partnership with Nintendo, and you know, didn't think anything of it, but that was like an interesting tidbit that was just kind of dropped, and then
he said I forget the initial question is about something, but you know, I think Skylanders fans or Amiibo fans or somebody will be. It's something. It was strongly hinting that there was going to be something.
Right.
And then when you brought it to me, I was trying to figure out. I mean, then I was scourging, you know, every low piece of dirt on the internet trying to find anything. And then,
we live in the mud, my friends.
Yeah. And I looked at Toys R Us and like or Walmart or wherever it was, and Amazon. And I'm like, we haven't gotten the Wii U or the 3DS box art, which was first we thought maybe was just that was going to be a different game, which makes sense for the 3DS and stuff. But I was like, Wii U still should be the main game. And I was like, in itself is nothing, but that tied with what you have, I mean, it's something's happening. And lo and behold, off it went. So
yeah, weird that they didn't release press images to retailers about something that they didn't want leaked out ahead of time. Funny how that works.
That's crazy.
I don't know.
They need nuts. Weeks to get it ready, Josh.
Get out of here with that. So yeah, that was. I mean, for the entire Toys to Life community, that partnership was by far the biggest news story of the year. So, and most important, because then, like with that, it just opens the door to possibilities, you know, beyond our wildest dreams. With you know, because we would think that these franchises are so independent of the others and their competition, but it's like, well, what if, you know, Lego reaches out and they're like, hey, could we borrow Marvel for Lego Dimensions? You know, even though they're in Disney Infinity, like these kind of partnerships can happen, especially when probably large amounts of money exchanges hands. So, yeah,
there's many things we want to add to our the story behind Toys to Life, and that I will never know the number, but I want to know the cash that was dealt to get
there was at least a briefcase.
Yeah, like
a full briefcase.
Moving on to variant figure of the year.
Variant figure of the year. One of my favorite categories.
That's right.
I live for the variants.
So the nominees were Light Effects Darth Vader from Disney Infinity, Gold Mario from Amiibo, the Chris Pratt variant from Lego Dimensions, which is a build-your-own variant, the Snow Bright Stormblade variant from Skylanders, and the Patina High Volt variant from Skylanders as well. The fan vote went to Light Effects Darth Vader, but as we've seen all night, doesn't necessarily mean they won. So, let's go to the envelope.
And the winner for variant figure of the year goes to Light Effects Darth Vader.
Dun 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 dun! We agreed with the community on this one. So awesome. Well, I should have got I wasn't prepared.
I know.
Not prepared.
I mean, it's not like we knew we were doing this or anything.
Hey,
yeah,
listen,
right,
bro.
It's not like somebody here knew the answers.
Ooh, shiny.
Find your lack of props disturbing.
You like that flash on the Ardash? Yeah, you do.
Yeah, he does. He's digging it.
He'll answer me in about 5 minutes.
Right. He has to process it and think about it.
He's still laughing at that joke. Yeah, so it came down to some interesting things. I love that Chris Pratt got more votes than both of the Skylanders. But
that was obviously because Lego Dimensions just didn't offer any variants of any sort whatsoever. Right. So,
but if you put both those figures on the base at the same time, they do interact with each other in a hilarious way, like voice acting wise. So it's hilarious.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah. So Patina High Volt, the Patina has been taking the world. It's, as we call it, it's the word of the year for 2015 is Patina. But it's cool, but it's not comparison to everything else there. Snowbright Stormblade, you and I both think I think it's my favorite figure of the year total. Period. Like it's phenomenal.
Especially.
And so it's a beautiful piece of artwork. So it's really, really awesome. And again, I fully 100% will never deny saying that I fully support employee exclusives. So very awesome that they do something cool like that. But again, we felt like we couldn't really choose that since it's not like a true variant that's available in the public. We didn't want to make people mad. So
sure.
Chris Pratt, again, funny. We did say, like you said, if Chris Pratt favorited, liked, retweeted, anything like that,
in any way whatsoever,
it's over. Like, just the vote's over. Like,
he's getting a trophy.
He's getting a trophy.
Yeah.
So it was down to Gold Mario and Light Effects Darth Vader. Again, this one was a very highly contested here for us. We both really liked Gold Mario. We like the fact that it's harder to find. That's it's nice. It's one that hasn't been restocked. It might be some people punching their steering wheels or iPods listening to this when we say that, but it's cool to have something like that in the Amiibo community that hasn't got there. But again, I think what we agreed on, that what makes it awesome to a lot of people is because of the rarity on there. If it was like the Silver Mario, nobody gives a rip. It's like because it's everybody's found. So if it was just as common as that, if it came in a game bundle, I don't think people would like it as much as they do now because it's in that high, Holy Trinity originally kind of stuff. So people like it, everything like that. But when we get into Light Effects Darth Vader, the thing we were talking about is a lot of people were upset about having to buy multiple figures, but you never you hear oh, I want to buy another cannon, or I don't want to buy another, obviously in the starter packet. I didn't hear anybody say I don't want to buy another Darth Vader. Some people chose to wait, but most people are like, I don't freaking care. I want Darth Vader, and I'll buy another freaking Darth Vader.
Yep,
and again,
absolutely.
the high feedback that people are willing to buy 2 figures of that means it's one. And again, it's the best looking Light Effects figure around. So it won based on that aspect of it.
Right, and the Gold Mario kind of got a knock just because of how simplistic it was. Easy to make your own custom Gold Mario, like if you really wanted to, and just pretend like you have one. I mean, sure, it's not legit, but I mean, still, it definitely suffered a little bit because of that. But it was close. It was a decent discussion between those for sure.
Yeah, and I was gonna say too, the as we said before, that for either Toys for Games following or obviously the Amiibo News following, or just the success that Amiibo has had, a lot of these categories had an Amiibo winning, and the fact that this category had a Disney Infinity character winning speaks volume again for how much people like that Darth Vader Light Effects. Even if you're not into Disney Infinity, a lot of people are into Star Wars. It looks freaking beautiful.
Right. And I mean, how many videos came out after the fact of how to make that thing glow without it being on the base?
Yeah.
I mean, you definitely pioneered that, but I mean, you go to YouTube now, and there's a bunch of people that offer up how-to videos of the best way to do it. So, people, I'm sure there are people out there watching those videos and buying, not only this figure but the other Light Effects figures that probably don't even own the game, and just want them to light up because they're cool. So.
Right. It's always good if Toys R Us ever has the buy one get one free kind of sale. It's always my default go-to is if they have it available, it's included. You could have as many Light Effects Darth Vaders as you could get because it's freaking awesome.
It'd be a wonderful army.
Yeah.
Right. All right, so that was our variant figure of the year. Next up, what do we got, Jason?
The secret category that we have announced up to this point, and it is Superstar of the Year.
Now, we put this on the website that we were having an award winner for this. Basically, kind of like a lifetime achievement type of thing where it's not really voted on. It's just decided upon between us two. We decided to award this to somebody or something for being the superstar of the year in the Toys to Life genre in totality. We didn't want fans to vote on this. We didn't want it to be a popularity contest. This was just strictly decided between us. So let's see what the envelope says.
All right, and the winner of the Superstar of the Year goes to John Vignacchi.
John Vignacchi. I didn't want to do a drum roll for this. It's too prestigious of an award to have a cheesy drum roll.
He would have loved it.
He would have loved it.
He would have loved it. What are you doing? He would have loved it.
Yeah, so, it was basically, like, when Josh and I were first talking about this, we were honestly joking, like, we need to make a John Vignacchi award, like, just literally call it, like, whether that's winning, he wins every year, or just whether people can succeed it. I don't know, he just needs something for him. Mm-hmm. But it's again, there's community leaders, stuff like that.
Well, yeah, we didn't want to include him into any category because he was going to run away, win whatever category we put him in.
Right. And so, whether you're into, like people say all the time, if you're not into Disney Infinity, people love John Vignacchi. You meet the guy either on Twitter, you see him in person. People say all the time, I'm not into Disney Infinity, but God, I want to buy whatever he's talking about. Like, the dude's, like, I like to think I'm a high personality, high crazy go nuts, but the dude's just freaking crazy all the time. And it's a delight. I'm on record saying he's a fantastic hugger, legit best bear hug in the business. So awesome guy. So again, his passion for the Toys of Life community, Disney Infinity included, he's also passionate about everything else, and he knows what he's talking about with all the other communities as well, and he's passionate about all those as well. It's unmatched. There's nobody else in the business like him. And again, he wears his emotions on his sleeves, for better or for worse. Again, he's bummed out by the leaks, obviously, like anybody is, about it all. But again, he is put more effort and more craft into his product there than anybody else, and it's wonderful to see as somebody who's into the Toys of Life community like this. It's great to have somebody like that, a huge proponent in the Toys of Life franchise, who takes things seriously. He'll go over and he'll talk to anybody and talk to you about why Disney Infinity is awesome. So
we watched him at E3. Barge into some interview with fans, and he took the interview over, and he just was like, I'm going to do the interviews, I'm going to ask the questions, and I'm going to interview you guys, like it was just completely, out of the blue, and he's like, this is what I'm doing now. And he did that for what, 10-15 minutes?
Yeah, I think it was like Allison was Allison one holding the microphone or something like
that?
Yeah. And then he's like, just push her out of the way and grab the microphone. And he's just like asking how their day was, stuff like that.
Right.
And then like PR was just like, all right, we got to go. He's like, no, it's fine. And then it's like,
he's like, just
the dude
push it
does
back.
whatever he wants, and it's great.
Yep. There's an entire community and fan base from Giant Bomb that is in love with the guy, that has no idea that he has anything to do with Disney Infinity. Anything that he goes near, his personality is just so infectious that it's hard not to get excited about whatever it is that he's excited about. Anything.
Right. Anything. Whether it's tweeting out someone's phone number or doing the infamous now, the handshake snap that we love so much. Like, the guy does stuff that, like, anybody else you would think, like, how is this guy still in his job? Like, different times I make jokes about, like, how does he still have his job, let alone at Disney, But again, he's that awesome of a guy, and that he's that passionate. There's no way. I don't know how you could fire the guy, to be honest,
Right.
Not that he deserves firing by any means, but I'm saying that, like, the guy's just phenomenal. I don't know how you could ever let him go, and so he's well deserving of everything that's ever happened. Disney Infinity owes a lot of gratitude to him. Guy, I don't know how he does it, and the guy's incredible.
And we owe a lot to him also. Just watching him in every interview and just being around him, makes us, I think, I don't want to speak for you, but I feel like it makes us want to be, on his level of some sort. Do what he does on a daily basis. I don't know how he does it, but it's super inspiring.
Right.
And motivating.
Yeah. JV lingo, everything about it's just great. His deep bench bro, stuff. It's just, dude, literally there is no rules that apply to John Vignacchi, and it's phenomenal.
So, hopefully, everything settles down, and we could finger snap, handshake him at E3, and give him a big old bear hug, and tell him we still love him, and present him an award in person would be fantastic. So, JV, if you're listening, we love you, man. We love everything about you. Keep doing what you do. Keep being so awesome for this entire genre and just life. I mean, just keep rocking life, man. You're killing it.
I mean, it's always one of those things that's what's so great. I mean, it's you have to be a certain person to have like a word, like a one word thing that means you. Like whether it's Piazza or like different athletes that has that one name. Like JV, there's no one on the face of the planet will ever be able to replace JV. Like JV is JV. No one else is ever going to be JV. Like that name is claimed, and it should be wherever you go. I should be able to go to some restaurant in Brazil and say the word JV and they'll know exactly who I'm talking about.
Yeah. If your initials are JV, just change your name.
Change them now.
Yeah, or don't ever plan by going by your initials. So, just tossing that out there. So, congratulations, John Vignacchi, and thank you for everything for this past year. Moving right along, we're going to start getting into the meats and potatoes of this first annual Toys for Games Awards. This is where we start talking about the best figures and eventually the best game. This is going to get interesting here real fast.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and start with the best looking figures of the year. Dun,
Best
dun,
looking
dun.
figures.
And of course, there's only four nominees. We got Amiibo, Disney Infinity, Skylanders SuperChargers, and Lego Dimensions. With the fan vote going to Amiibo, the winner is...
The winner of best looking figure of the year goes to Amiibo.
Amiibo. So yeah, this one's like it was. I don't say like meanly, but you and I both pretty much agreed it was an open and shut case. Lego Dimensions are in a pickle. I mean, Legos are Legos.
Yep.
So,
they are great looking Lego minifigures.
Yeah, but again, like you don't want anything else. Nobody wanted Lego guys, so again, it's not speaking bad on those. Skylanders has been great. They have some great variants, but this year, I mean, it's been hit or miss.
Yeah.
I mean, some look great. I mean, there's some. I mean, people talk about either the Sky Amiibo. I always reference that steel plate, hot plate, or whatever that dumb thing's called.
Yeah, the smash it, steel plate smash it.
Yeah, woof. Yeah.
That green, man.
Like when I see that, it reminds me of that the scene in oh god. In Elf at the beginning, like when he signs, like he says about like no one cares about the last 2 pages of that stupid book. Like when they saw the finish line, like nobody cares about the dumb thing, that's like ship it, So it's bad, but so it is what it is. Like, again, some of them look great, some of them just look not so great. So it came down to Amiibo and Disney Infinity, and it's close. And what we end up kept saying is that at the end of the day, Amiibo figures look better appealing to people across the board. I mean, people look at them and say, like, those look phenomenal at $13 or at whatever price. Disney Infinity has an art style which both benefits and hurts them as far as in this category here. We talked about maybe next year we might change the the name of the category or something like that. But Disney Infinity figures in 3.0 look so much better than they did in 2.0, and especially since 1.0. They're doing better on there. But as we both agreed, we would not change the style whatsoever. That's what makes Disney Infinity figures great. You can buy these figures and they look so great together, even though they're across different, genres and movie styles and, formats and everything like that. But some of the Amiibo just look so detailed in different ways that it's hard to beat. And again, we say to people all the time, like, when they look at Disney Infinity figures, like, oh, these look kind of cool, but everybody looks at Amiibo, they're like, oh my god, these look incredible, So,
right. And honestly, I mean, that's what made people want to collect them, because they did look so good. Right. Like, if Nintendo had come out and completely failed with the design of these things, and they just were cheap looking or whatever, the Amiibo craze never would have took off. It would have been nothing. But because they were so detailed and so fantastic to look at, it made people want to collect them and want to keep them in box. I mean, you didn't see that with Skylanders and Disney Infinity, except the rare ones and the ones that were hard to find because they were chase variants and worth a lot of money. But I mean, people were keeping Marios in boxes,
right?
Just because they were like, they're too nice to leave out in the open. We want to protect these things, so
right. And again, so that's why I said it's a little bit unfair about how we worded the category a little bit. But again, it's not speaking bad on Disney Infinity's the way they design it. I mean, you and I both agreed 100% that their art style is phenomenal, and that they have to do it that way, and they look a lot better than they did. So
Yeah.
It's not. It's one of those. By naming Amiibo does not mean by any means saying that Disney Infinity figures don't look good, because they look just as great. But got to give it to Amiibo this year.
Had to pick a winner.
Had to pick a winner.
Had to pick a winner. Speaking of Amiibo, let's move on to the Amiibo of the year. And this category is sponsored by our friend Michael O'Driscoll.
Sponsored categories.
Yeah, we have Patreon sponsors that paid money to be a sponsor on our podcast. We're not doing the regular podcast, so I had to figure out how to shoehorn them in somewhere.
Fair.
So this is the perfect place, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Amiibo of the Year category is sponsored by Michael O'Driscoll. You can find him on Twitter at Amiibo_museum. The nominees are
Phantom drum roll.
Not drum roll.
Now he's too excited with the drum roll.
The nominees. We have Toad, KK Slider, Inkling Squid, Mega Yarn Yoshi, and the 30th anniversary 8-bit Mario. The fan vote went to Mega Yarn Yoshi.
I'm just getting so amped. Stop!
Stop
Stop!
with the drum roll. Time out. Take a breath.
Hey, TJ, killing the drums, bro! Dark TJ's up to his antics.
Naturally. So the fan vote went to Mega Yarn Yoshi, but we got to see what's inside the envelope. Now it doesn't work.
No, it's not working. And the winner for Amiibo of the Year goes to Mega Yarn Yoshi.
The
Yay!
Mega Yarn Yoshi.
The most unlikely of Amiibo ever. Look at that thing.
It's beautiful.
Man, I wish I had one.
Yeah, so Josh,
Yeah,
where's
right?
yours?
Yeah. It's too good.
I think your copy's sitting right next to my Nitro soda skimmer.
At least he wasn't
Probably.
number 25 in a line where there was only 24.
Whoops.
Yeah, so again, this was debating here. Toad, I mean, I still love Toad, but we kind of put him in there just for kicks and giggles. Still give Josh...
I think Toad deserved it, because that was the only one from the Mario Party line that people were excited about.
Right.
And I mean, it was Toad, and he was so small, and just like he wasn't like any Amiibo we had seen before.
Right. Well, I'll let you give your editorial here in a second, but you'll notice that before there was no Smash Bros. Amiibo in there, which I think was a great call. But then we had KK Slider, which is great. Again, it's showing, again, that's one of the ones that shows you how far Amiibo have come. Like, there's so much detail in that. They go from P-Sticks to that thing, you know? It's great. Inkling Squid was also phenomenal there. I mean, the whole Splatoon Amiibo were great. Shout out to South Africa. But those
I
great
can't
lines,
believe they nailed that, man.
so we're down to 30th anniversary 8-bit Mario and Mega Yarn Yoshi. And this was a close call, and I said before, like I thought 30th anniversary was going to run away with it, but I was pleasantly surprised to see Mega Yarn Yoshi. And this is again, this speaks volume about the Amiibo community. Is that Amiibo community thinks it's all about Smash, it's all about our Amiibo, it's all Smash about this. But so they're like, nobody's gonna buy this Mega Yarn Yoshi. You could show up at 6 o'clock in the evening on Sunday and get that thing, and then they're all like, "Wait, selling out? Who's buying this thing?" And blah, blah, and now it's one of the harder to find ones. I mean, it's getting down internationally, getting close retail, but still,
Yeah.
I mean, for a little bit there, it was hard to find, and people were like, "What? This makes no sense." Like, what are you talking about? Like, people are excited for this thing, and they're just not posting it like crazy. But so again, for the Amiibo community to vote this as the Amiibo of the Year pushed us over the edge to making Amiibo. And like the case I was making it to you, if you want to explain Amiibo to somebody, show them this thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
Disney Infinity has these figures, Skylanders have these vehicles and stuff. Amiibo, they're doing whatever the crap they want, and it's great. I mean, we got figures, then we got like the random Super Smash Brothers, we got this thing, we got cards, we have good Lord knows what's coming.
Exclusive cards in magazines.
Right. Like, we could be getting, like, Amiibo Happy Meal toys. Like, who knows? Who really knows? Like, legit, anything's possible. Like, we could get Amiibo cereal. I don't know, man. They're just going to do whatever they want to do. So, like, that was, like, this is, like, the encompass of it all. And, again, it's great. And as I told you, my favorite part about this, because Nintendo still won't give in, that they put that little stupid metal slider in all the Smash Brothers one, they put a protector under its left foot so you couldn't use it in the box. Who gives a rip? You know? Like, Like, it's one of those, like, I don't know about Japanese culture, so it seems like an American thing to do. I don't want to say it's like a Japanese thing to do, but like legit be like, yo, we're putting it in there just to screw with them, you know?
Right,
Like,
yeah.
it's like we said about, like, America did the 3-pack just to screw all the inbox collectors with the Smash Brothers. I think they put it in there just for kicks and giggles,
Yep.
you know? And it's hilarious. They made this buy even better.
Yeah, and that's one thing that you are happy to show off and be like, this is an amiibo.
Right,
You
and
know.
I say all the time, it sit on top of my entertainment center. It's one of the few that doesn't sit in here. It said I was going to take it down to work, but I love it too much to take it down to work. Plus, I don't know if I can deal with the customers' questions when they walk in. But some of the entertainment center, I have friends over all the time, and like they know about the collection room and stuff like that. But then they see that, like, is that a giant Yoshi? And I'm like, yeah, because again, who doesn't love Yoshi? And everybody, I mean, obviously, Crochet and everything, that's in right now. And I'm like, that's an amiibo. They're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, looking at its foot. And they're like, what? Like, do you just tap it or something? I'm like, hey, smack it on the gamepad, you know? It's awesome. So,
Yeah, the 30th anniversary 8-bit Mario is fantastic. It is perfectly built, like block for block. That thing is incredible. I love everything about it. I'm a little partial to it because I kind of predicted it. So I have a little bit more attachment to it. What are you doing? But that Mega Yarn Yoshi, that thing is incredible, man. Like that's just out of control. And yeah, I did not choose any Smash Brother amiibo because which one would you choose from the Smash? That should have just been popping up the entire show. Like, which one would you choose out of all of them? You know.
right.
Secondly, like, there wasn't any surprise about what the amiibo would look like because every single one of the Smash Brother amiibo are based off of the in-game trophies from Super Smash Brothers. So if you've seen the trophy in the game, you know exactly what the amiibo was going to look like, and that's why I never really understood how much people were freaking out about when they would show off what a new amiibo would look like. It's like, well, it's in the game, you know what it's going to look like.
Right.
So like that, and the fact of how do you choose one of the 86 to add to the category or so.
And what I think made this even better too, like the more I thought about it, I think this was so great because it wasn't in a Smash Direct or like it wasn't even any kind of Nintendo Direct. It was just in like their press release kind of thing. Because like everybody's all excited about the Yarn Yoshi, and people like when they first saw the images even before they showed the video and stuff, everybody thought it was actually going to be bigger than what it was. And then everybody said like, "Oh man, I wish it was bigger. Oh, I wish it was bigger." So I don't know.
That was from E3.
Right. So I don't know
Yeah.
if there was if people were more like if they made this app like I don't know when in the cycle they decided to make this massive one, you know. But what makes it great is because you just woke up one morning and saw this news break at like 7:00 in the morning, and you saw this stuff. I'm like, wait, what the frick is that? Like a legit like 17 inches tall, however big it is. And like I always remember like the image is just a person going like this on top of like the gamepad, like
Right.
just ridiculous, and I just love it.
It has no right to be an amiibo, but it is, and that just shows how cool the amiibo, franchise can be going forward, and how weird and obscure and different it's going to be for the entire, Toys to Life genre.
And I haven't seen anyone take it apart, and I have no idea how to sew, so I want to do it. But I want that thing in its bum so bad because I'd much rather just smack its butt on the thing. Than its foot.
So congratulations, Mega Yarn Yoshi, on your win for Amiibo of the Year. Moving on to Lego Dimensions Figure of the Year. This category is sponsored by our friend Brett. You can find him on Twitter at BrettMan79.
Man.
He had another race this last weekend. Did you see that?
Do you have another one? Oh, I did know
Yeah.
that because I
The
saw
Star
Brandon
Wars
Jones was there too.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's ran approximately 178 miles in the last 2 weeks.
Frick that.
Just because
I think I've run that much since high school, maybe. But
my life.
interesting too. Like when I saw him, like running marathons stuff like that's one thing. I was waking up and like trying to stay awake while I'm eating my freaking Wheaties and stuff. And like I'm looking at Brandon Jones is like tweeting about how they're up running, and I'm like, it's 8:00 my time, and I'm barely getting up, and it's like 5:00 their time. Like,
Yeah.
nope.
Have fun with that.
Yeah.
But thank you, Brett, for your sponsorship via Patreon, and we appreciate it, and we can't wait to meet up with you again, hopefully at E3. We're going to have some Brett time for sure.
Got that right.
Oh yeah.
So Lego Dimensions Figure of the Year, since Brett is the #1 Lego Dimensions fan, he has been since day one. Anybody that says otherwise is crazy. The figure nominations are Batman, the Doctor, Shell, Unikitty, and Wild Style. And the fan vote went to Batman.
Guess I'm amped.
Fix your bow tie there, Vince.
What's wrong with my bow tie?
He's saying
Nothing,
Batman.
but it's
Because
Batman.
Because it's Batman.
I'm Batman.
First try.
First
Let's
try.
Let's go ahead and check the envelope, please.
The winner for LEGO Dimension Figure of the Year goes to the Doctor.
Ooh.
No, you mean who?
Good one, man.
On
a
the
good one.
spot.
Mine's
right.
chilling up.
You guys don't pay me enough.
Mine's up there somewhere.
Who said
Yeah.
that from
So
the beginning?
this is this is some interesting stuff. The fan vote is Batman, and you and I both talked about like Batman. I think is my most used figure. Obviously, it's starter packs, so they make it used more, but it's just well rounded, and he's freaking Batman. So good to fun to play as.
But in the end, it's just another Batman.
Right. I mean, we talked about there might have been plans that it was a different Batman. I don't know if I actually even publicly released those images at all.
We talked about it.
I'm not sure if we did or not. I know we talked about it. I don't know if I posted the images though.
I don't know.
Remember. Maybe one day I will. Different style Batman. Adam
West.
Adam West Batman.
Adam West.
There you go.
Six Batman.
Yeah. So we had that, and then so I was on there. We love Shell. I'm a huge Shell. As you made a point there, but it's just freaking. It's just a minifigure with a tank top. Like nothing's super special with it.
Her portal gun's legit.
Right. Portal gun's legit.
Wow.
Portal gun's legit. I've had too much Dr. Pepper tonight.
Almost nailed that.
Man, getting ready
Let's
for
take over.
Getting ready for
All
his
right.
after parties.
Get out of here.
Unikitty again's great. I like Anger Unikitty better than regular Unikitty, anyways. But so then it was down to again, Wild Style was again starter pack character, but again nothing super special with that. I mean, their accessory thing on it. Do you leave that accessory on yours?
Mm-hmm.
Her little thing. That thing pops off anytime I get even within 2 inches of that thing. So
I had to include
Get out of
Wild
here.
Style just for her in-game play because she builds things in the game better than anybody else. It's fantastic. It's just from the movie, and it's so good.
Yep. So then it was really down to it was the Doctor and Batman, but again we already said Batman's just good. But Doctor was so great because it was so random too. I mean, same thing like Portal, but Doctor Who obviously has a bigger fan base than Portal does. So and again it was great because then they introduced Doctor Who Lego stuff right in there, and again that shows the awesomeness of Lego Dimensions that they could have who knows how this partnership ball is working out, how the time frame's working, everything like that. But they're like, oh hey look, the Doctor's coming, the Lego Dimensions. Like people are like, wait, does that mean Lego sets are coming? And then bam, here's Lego sets. So it's awesome.
Yep. So congratulations to the Doctor for Lego Dimensions.
Voice acting is the best in the game with the Doctor. Love the Doctor.
Yeah, fantastic work. Next up, we have the Disney Infinity Figure of the Year. This category is sponsored, of course, by our friend James Holian over in the UK. You can find him on Twitter at Infinity Museum. He's had our back the last few days.
Gosh, my goodness gracious! It's different. I don't say I forget about him, but I forget how much I love the man. It was different times. After the past 2 weeks, I don't know how we survived without having a museum on Twitter.
Right.
The dude lives in the UK. I don't know what his hours are or anything. I tweet him at random times, and he'll tweet me back direct message stuff. Oh gosh, love James Holian.
Yep. So thank you, James, for your sponsorship and just your friendship and being a part of this show and this community in such a big way. So the Disney Infinity Figure of the Year nominees are Mulan, Spot, Kylo Ren, Hulkbuster, and Boba Fett's. The fan vote went to Kylo Ren. And
TJ, stop with the early drum rolls. Jeez Louise.
that's
killing us.
Kylo Ren, not Matt, the radar technician. Just FYI.
How funny was that skit?
So good.
I
Absolutely
heard
so
he's
good.
ripped. He's got an 8-pack.
Shredded.
Now I broke.
TJ's
TJ, jeez Louise, bro.
Man, he's mad that we left him off Customizer of the Year.
You ready?
All right. Now he doesn't want to do it.
We were doing...
All All right, and the winner, the Disney Infinity figure of the year, goes to the Hulkbuster Iron Man.
Yes.
Hulkbuster.
So again, I was shocked at how well Kylo Ren was doing, to be honest. Like, because it was in like third or fourth spot for a while, and then it kind of was bumped out there. I mean, for a while, Hulkbuster had like what 50 or 40, 50, 60% of the vote,
Easy.
and then it's kind of died out there. But Kylo Ren is great. One of the, again, showing the power of Disney Infinity art style that you look at and you know it's Kylo Ren, but you can tell it's also in the Disney Infinity style. Like, it's great. And the people who design those figures do a phenomenal job at matching complex stuff like Kylo Ren into a figure. Obviously, again, all the legalese to get something involved there is crazy. Spot, you and I both love some of our personal favorites. Tell people all the time, give the guy a chance, because it's worth picking up just because, again, attention to detail they did with that.
Right.
Mulan's beautiful, still one of my favorite characters in the game. I've been pushing for that in Darkwing Duck. Speaking of that, shout out to Darkwing Duck for being Toys for Games Figure of the Year for next year. It's already done. It's done. Like,
Locked in. Go ahead and announce it.
Can't wait for Mabel to get 0% too. And then Boba Fett
happened first, so
yeah, Boba Fett. Yeah, Mabel, the one figure we're not gonna leak, even if we get the information. Boba Fett, great. Again, super awesome style there. But Hulkbuster, like, my goodness, I've said it multiple times in the podcast. It is, at the end of the day, if you were looking at these figures, they did nothing, but they're all the same price point. Hulkbuster is a steal, an absolute steal for the price point. Steal in any kind of collection there. Dude's massive, as you say, he's on 2 bases. The guy's big, weighs as much. Apparently, like, Amazon thinks Olaf weighs like twice the size of him, but whatever.
Was it like 6.8 Olafs or something?
Yeah, I think it's what Dan calculated too.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I said before, like, I said this about light effects, but I said this about Hulkbuster. I never complain about, like, when there's one figure I need to pick up at a different retailer and they have like a 2 for something. Get me that Hulkbuster. I own 3 of them and I don't give a rip. I could buy more of those stupid things. They're awesome. I love Hulkbuster. I could have one in each room. I love Hulkbuster. I saw a. Did you see that custom somebody did?
No, I don't think so.
I saw it. And I haven't actually reached out to him. I don't think he does. I think he just does it for his own. He has a bunch of Hulkbuster customizations, so I don't think it's like he's gonna sell or he does anything for sale. But I'm gonna contact him. But, like, I know you don't do stuff, but legit name your price. Like, legit name your price.
Everybody has a price.
Yeah. Let me find it.
Vince would make one for you if you paid him enough.
Yeah.
Heck, just Hulkbuster. I'll do my best.
So I mean, when we went to E3, it was the first E3 for all 3 of us, right? First time we had been to E3. And E3 is filled with a million different things that you could do and look at and play and see and talk about. And literally the first thing that we did when we walked through the door was go to the Disney Infinity booth and find Hulkbuster. Because we wanted the first pictures. Wow.
You see that?
Battle damage Hulkbuster.
Right? And look at, like, the paint's darker. Like, it looks like it's made out of metal.
That is sweet.
So, name your price, bro.
Yep.
Name your price.
Definitely. But yeah, I mean, that was the first thing that we did at E3 was go and find Hulkbuster, take pictures of it, and get it out there because we wanted everybody else to see how big it was, how awesome it was. Just, the scope of it was just so incredible. And that was what kind of pushed it over the top for me. Voting.
Yeah, because we saw the pre-art, like the press images and stuff, but, like, we didn't think it was going to be as big as it was.
Right.
Like, oh, okay, it's going to be like downsized. Like, kind of like the Hulk is and stuff like that, a little bit smaller. But good night, man.
I mean, when Stitch is the same size as, like, most of the other figures, it's like they want to keep everything to fit into a certain scale. And then out the window with Hulkbuster, they're just like, nope, that needs to crush everything.
Literally.
Yeah, they should really make one, like, or someone could customize one where it's literally the size like Mega Yar and Yoshi. Like, especially like Battlegrounds, like that should be like a power up. Like, you get to, like, level whatever, and you just put that massive figure on the base. It's game over. Yeah, right there.
Put the base underneath his foot.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's like it's an instant kill. Like, you just put it on and boom, the game over.
Yeah. So Disney Infinity Figure of the Year, Hulkbuster. But a lot of good nominations. And there's a lot that we didn't pick that could have made this list as well. So,
Yep.
Next up, we have the Skylanders Figure of the Year. As you can see by the card, Skylanders, of course, is sponsored by our friend and community leader of the year winner, Matt Sonnenberg. You can find him on Twitter at SCLMatt. Check out his website, SkylandersCharacterList.com, and Facebook.com/SkylandersCharacterList for everything that he's up to involving Skylanders. So the nominations for Skylander Figure of the Year are Hammer Slam Bowser, Nightfall, Splat, Spitfire, and Super Shot Stealth Elf. Fan vote went to Hammer Slam Bowser. Don't shake your head at me in disgust.
He's shaking his head at me because TJ's going off the rails again.
I caught him out of the corner of my eye. I was like,
Guy's out of control.
Easy, TJ. So let's go ahead and see who won this category.
And the winner of Skylanders Figure of the Year goes to Splat.
Ta-da!
Splat. Awesome. I'm loving this guy's making like $5 of me off of playing his YouTube video multiple times. Yeah, so yeah, so this was another hard one here. Obviously, again, Hammer Slam Bowser. It's kind of weird because it's like it was News Story of the Year, a lot of stuff on that. It's funny that it was picked up because especially the Amiibo community, how much they hate Hammer Slam Bowser and stuff. I think they hate Donkey. I don't know if they actually hate Donkey Kong more or the Hammer Slam Bowser one more, but yeah, it was one of those. It's great. It's a great community, but again, like you and I were very underimpressed with it. I mean, they felt they could have done a little bit more on there. In game, he looks great. Like he's massive and huge and freaking blasted.
As long as you're playing it on a Nintendo console.
As long as you're playing, and that was one of the big votes. Like it feels weird to get Figure of the Year to something that's so tied down and restricted.
Yep.
So we did that. So it was down to the other ones. Super Shot Stealth Health. It's too good to give it to. Like it's too good to give it to.
Everybody knows that that's like, you know, the unannounced winner of this category.
I mean, it's like Matt tried to give his away to Evilos today, and Evilos said no.
He's like, nah, I don't mess with Skylanders.
No,
Anybody else, he
that's
probably
too
would have
good.
took.
But so there's down a couple in there. Nightfall, we said was great. We had a little bit of debate about whether we should take off some controversy for the the stuff that happened that took it out at the beginning. It was technical problems, but
Yeah, they had to recall it. I mean,
right.
As cool as the design is, when a figure is recalled, that kind of hurts.
Kind of hurts.
Yeah.
Time again. Tweets coming from the audience again. Time for the
Right over there.
time for the in memoriam segment for anything Toys of Life that died in 2015, like Playmation.
Security. Get him out of here.
This is why you're supposed to take phones at the door.
And then they included a picture of the Skylanders trap team. Please insert SD content card on the right side of the monitor. I never even seen that picture before, but I guess they had an error. I thought he was gonna. You should have tweeted a picture of the trap team button. I would have given him points for that. like Playmation. Oh my gosh.
All right.
So yeah, we took some points off of Nightfall for that. So again, I will put this point too. If people think it's Josh or me tweeting the stuff, like this should hopefully be live proof that's not either of us. No idea who it is. Oh my gosh.
And we know it's not Vince.
It's not me. I'm not that creative.
Oh god. So again, I love Playmation, but so
Rest in peace. Moment of silence.
golly. So yeah, we took some things from Nightfall there. So we're down to Splat and Spitfire. And it was this debate about whether we should add points or take away points for Spitfire for being a starter pack. I mean, Spitfire should not, as I think it was Matt's quote, wasn't it? Matt's quote said, Spitfire should not be that good for being a starter pack character.
Right. Yeah.
But, like, there's not too many people who don't like Spitfire. Like, I'm sure there's some people, but everybody loves Spitfire. Like, he's awesome. And for being a starter pack, that never really happens with Skylanders. I mean, typically your starter pack characters, and you like Christmas socks those things. You chuck those things and get them out of here and not touch them. Like, you super stock stealth up those things, get them out of here.
Right.
I never put stealth. I've yet to put stealth on the base. Fact. But
all 4 of them.
My daughter likes it, and I can't convince her otherwise.
First,
so
I thought you were gonna say my
whatever.
dog, and I was like, if you gave your dog, I'm gonna love it. So it was kind of back and forth, and we're like, but then at the end of it, you look at Splat. It's really, really pretty, and intentional or not, the fact that it friggin' smells, it ended up putting it over the top.
She's so beautiful, and just
Yeah.
the different colored plastic.
RC car.
You know,
What?
RC car.
Oh.
Yeah, it's awesome. But yeah, like I said, Spitfire is my Skylanders Bing Bong. That like if they made man-size like onesies of Spitfire, I would totally get one of Spitfire and Hot Streak. Yeah. Turn that junk on. Yeah, push that. Like this is an RC car, but look, it lights up and everything. Like it's friggin' sweet. So yeah, it's awesome. So this is not. I mean, it's Skylanders brand, but it's not Skylanders made this. But love Spitfire. So, but again, we had to give it to Splat. Love Splat. So congratulations out to her.
Yep. Absolutely. Splat, the Skylanders figure of the year. We have one more category to go, gents. This is the big one.
Supposed to show
So-
the card?
yeah.
What's-
No. I was just waiting for Jason to.
No,
think of
I have. Sorry, I
something
have to do my. No, I have to do my retweets back at Shopkins Inquirer. It's like,
I mean, as long as you got the priorities out of the way.
yeah.
So the final category of the first annual 2015 Toys for Games Awards is the Toys to Life Game of the Year.
Shucky Ducky.
And this category is sponsored by our friend Ken. You can find him over on Twitter at ProudGamerTweet. And he is, of course, the admin of our Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/Toys for Games. And he's doing a lot of work behind the scenes on a lot of different things. He's going to be a big part of what we do in 2016, and I'm looking forward to including him on much more broader scale publicly once things get going. So super excited, and thank him for his support and reaching out and starting the Facebook group in the first place, because it's still rocking and going strong over there. And I actually let somebody in the other night.
Did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
The rare Josh Lenner in.
That's right. Sorry, Ken. So for the Toys to Life Game of the Year, we have Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, Disney Infinity 3.0, Skylanders SuperChargers, and Lego Dimensions. The fan vote, by a very narrow margin, went to Lego Dimensions. But if you've ever needed a drum roll to be queued up, now's the time.
And the winner for the Toys to Life Game of the Year goes to Disney Infinity 3.0.
What?
3.0. Yeah, so this was man,
This
how long was
category took forever to pick.
40 minutes plus probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a real hard choice. I mean, Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival is right up there. And I mean, all the
it was
other
close.
Amiibo games that the non-functional character things
Just
require.
use the Amiibo functionality perfectly.
Yeah, non-functioning collectibles, right? That's the term.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, so we're down to a couple things. I mean, all three have their own great opinion with it. All do really great things. And then they also all have great flaws as well. None of them were perfect. That's what made the category so hard. So
And there's a lot of caveats to the category as well. Like, there's a lot of things to consider in picking, and we weren't really prepared for that until we started talking about it, and we're like, man, there's a lot of like, this is a big checklist of pros and cons for
we broke
all
down
of them.
price, availability, number of content on there, future content, community. I mean, this should encapsulate everything. This wasn't just what do we have the most fun playing as. We tried to incorporate everything on here. So, so the first one I will say after a bunch of debate on there, we dropped Skylanders SuperChargers out of the running. We said it was great on there, but we said it's a weird thing to say, especially for our core community. Really likes the figures and likes completing. I would say a fair number of them are completionists with some stuff. So the Skylanders SuperChargers, for the first time in any of the games, doesn't reward you for going above and beyond and getting all the figures. There's no extra really unlock for it at all. So you get, like you said, you get land, air, speed, land, air, sea, and that's it. That's all you need. I mean, then there's perks if you want to get the other stuff, but again, you're not really rewarded for it. So, and again, it was weird that you could just complete the entire game on day one with everything.
It was a good Skylanders game. Like, it continued to be a good Skylanders game. Like, that series is still like my favorite of the games to play, and they made another good game, but like you said, they didn't reward the community that wanted to collect everything. And also the big thing that they tried to do was online cooperative play and racing and stuff, and that just either didn't work or nobody was using it, and that was a huge bummer for the Skylanders community.
It was a big push, and then it just died like nobody ever uses it, which is a shame.
Died like Playmation.
But yeah, so then we talked about it a little bit more, and we said about the Amiibo situation, which was great. Again, I don't want to say it's even necessarily poorly handled, but again, a lot of people are upset about it's only available in those packs. So the starter packs thing rubbed people some wrong way. 7-pack starter club, proud of representing. But they did some great thing stuff as well. We always said it's that kind of love or hate miss that they or is 20 figures, 20 vehicles, but they're friggin' variant the heck out of these things. I think every figure is going to end up with a variant before this thing's
pretty much,
done.
yeah.
So, like, oh great, so you're not getting as many, but you're actually getting the same amount in these variants and stuff. So, again, it's all, but again, there was just nothing there that really pushed over the top. It's one of the better Skylanders games they've put on for a while, no doubt, but nothing really pushed it over the edge. We said we gave them a lot of points for the vehicles, that they actually did something in real life. Some of the ones that we're still pretty sure can float and stuff, like that's phenomenal. As I was talking to Josh, I legit just watch a movie and I just roll thump truck on the sofa next to me the whole time because I always have to be doing something. So it's like my go-to. Like I'll just sit there and just roll thump truck on my leg while I'm watching the movie. Like legit love thump truck. So
he's not kidding.
No, not one bit. So it's awesome. Like I tell people all the time, like this is crazy. Like this is the legit massive dump truck thing, and you just play on the base. You play as a character. Like it's crazy, I don't even know how it reads it that far. But so it's awesome. So stuff like that. But again, some just random caveats about it that just people didn't really like, and it's just one of those things that it's not completed or something. Like people have said, it's just not there completely.
Right.
It's a little bit of an untangible with it. So that was our first opinion with it. So then we're down to Disney Infinity and Lego Dimensions. And again,
that's where it got ugly.
Yeah, I got ugly here real quick. We both said that we really, really enjoyed Lego Dimensions game. Like it was great fun to play through. Had a decent storyline. Kind of fun to play through. But then like it started getting kind of like completionist point at the end. Like I just wanted to be done with this thing. Me and you have both been highly critical of like the last level where there's like I understood their concept they're trying to do where you got to redo everything, but it was just like stop
too
much.
Yeah.
Like it took me, I think I spent more walking distance from the beginning of that level to the meeting the boss than I walked the entire freaking game up to that point. It just kept going, and the mechanics just kept like that. The like secret bridge, you walk around. I'm like, okay, this is kind of fun. We had to do it like 5 times. I'm like, I'm getting annoyed with this. Like I was just jumping around hoping I didn't die. Like just finding on this path.
Right.
And again, we talked about the $100 price point. At this point, it's expensive. We're keying on the fact that next year might make it cheaper because it's now cut in half because you don't have to buy the next starter pack. But we can't really fully give it a full vote for that because we don't know what's going to happen yet. Right. And again, we took some points back with the level packs. You get paid as money for it. It's you can defend it in somewhat way, but still not a lot of gameplay there. Adventure worlds are phenomenal. You get lost in those things.
But they're hidden in the game. Like that's like the biggest chunk of the game, and you can't find them.
They're back in that corner over there. Didn't you see that corner over there? Remember that corner?
That the camera refuses to pan to. You know,
right? Like, and you take that stupid elevator up because that's a thing.
Yeah.
And then like again, you can cheat and like go to the menu, but then when you get up there, like where the frick is it? Jurassic World one? You know, like is this? No, it's Lord of the Rings. God dang it! Where's the Jurassic? You know, it's just weird. But so then when we kept talking about it, that the biggest draw point from this Lego Dimensions was the toys got in the way of the game, which was if you're gonna win a Toys of Life Game of the Year, the toys are what's and they get like I kept flunkering about this. Like man, I don't know. And then when I was actually listening to Disney Infinity TV podcast on Monday night, this actually kind of reaffirmed it. They both said that I was getting frustrated with the toys, you know, and what they were saying. I'm like, okay, so good. Other people agree with us because they had like when you announced they had this portal, we're all like, oh great, the portal's gonna do something, blah 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 blah. And like it's like you'd spend more time moving those dumb figures around than you do playing the game.
I like the idea of solving puzzles with it, but then when they push the fact that you can have 7 things on the portal at one time, it's like, okay, cool, because less changing around, less getting up and swapping figures, until you realize that you can't do the puzzles that you need to do with 7 figures on it. So then you're down to like 2 or 3 on it, and it's just it's convoluted.
And then you get trapped in the spell, and you have to move them off of the one spot. And I'm just like, get the frick out of my way!
It's great on paper, and it's fun to see the first couple times, but then it's just like, this is too much.
It was the hardest games for me to binge on, just because I just get so fed up moving these things. So, again,
but the game itself was good, like
right,
and it has the benefit of being a Lego game, and probably the best Lego game that we've seen. Like,
right.
And those are fun.
And like you and I said before, should we knock on it because it is a Lego game and nothing really added to it? The fact that it was, these toys of life. But again, I think it was just such a bad taste in the mouth with the thing. I would still, no matter what, I mean, again, Toys of Life games are just glorified DLC packages, but I still like the concept of being able to just put the figure down and want to play as. Like, I enjoy that concept. I'm enjoying that game type. So even though you could do it in the Lego games by putting the Y button and choosing a giant grid of 200 characters, it's still more fun to put it on there.
Yeah.
So then we came down about, what about Disney Infinity? And you and I both said the playsets this year have been great. The character lineup's been phenomenal. Overall, the gameplay is so much better. I mean, when we look back at 2.0, I mean, you even said, too, we feel like we should be, arrested or fined for how much we defended Disney Infinity 2.0.
We owe people money.
Like, that thing was awful.
Yeah.
So, I'm
glad we weren't podcasting back then, because we wouldn't have made it this far.
God, man.
We would have had to lie to people.
We're like, yeah, we love the playsets. Playsets are great. And we got 3 playsets at the beginning of launch, and that's all we got. So, hashtag defend Team Leaks, because friggin' that was bullcrap.
Yikes.
But yeah, so everything's going on back on that. But then 3.0 did a bunch of new stuff that they were trying. They brought farming on board. They got Speedway. They got Toy Blocks Takeover. Finally, a thing where you can play a storied gameplay with different figures on there. Toy Box has gotten better for people who enjoy it. The ability to download Toy Boxes has gotten a lot better than it used to. And they're doing a bunch of tutorials online. They're doing having a buttload of playsets out here. Obviously, we're getting Star Wars. We're getting a bunch of stuff, not even necessarily better than 2.0. It's just completely different, and it's making 2.0 like it didn't even exist. So it was just a great lineup there. But then, as you and I both agreed, if you're not into the toy box, you're missing 80% plus of the content for Disney Infinity. Right. And so it's hard to say, because I tell people all the time, if your kid or if your husband or whoever else doesn't enjoy Minecraft per se, to make an easy comparison to bullying stuff or playing some stuff. Some of the toy boxes are so beautifully well done, it feels like a playset. But other stuff, it feels like it's just random stuff put together that it's hard to justify. Like, oh yeah, look how great this game is.
Right,
it's just
right.
like, what am I looking at right now? But
and there is no core game per se. Everything's locked behind playsets or the toy box expansion discs.
Right.
Like it comes with a playset in the starter pack, because there is no base game to just play that's on the disc.
Right, and we both said farming is going to be that killer app. You and I were on Team Farming. It came out, and everybody and their mother was addicted to farming.
Yeah.
And then 3 weeks went by, and people were like, "Oh yeah, there's that farming thing. Does anyone even touch that anymore? Is that a thing?" because again, like you built like an ultra farm and it was done and over with, you know, like
Yeah.
So so it's a bunch of like stuff that was never really fully completed per se. Like they had all these great things that just weren't ever fully
Flynn's
hashed
Arcade.
out. Yeah, Flynn's Arcade was a huge knock on it. So so again, at the end of it, there was no game that was outright game of the year. Each game had some great positives. Again, you and I think both agreed that the vehicles coming to Skylanders was needed. Something I think was a great addition. Lego Dimensions is a great lineup. Again, a great concept, but horribly executed for using the gamepad. Disney Infinity just did a lot of stuff. That at the end of the day, this is basically what we banked it on, was that the toys did enough to make it a Toys to Life game that was usable and enjoyable with the extra stuff with the power disc, using the playset, swap and stuff like that. Still enjoying putting your figure on there. You could, advance the stats on that carried over to your friend's house, doing a bunch of stuff like that. And that did offer enough gameplay for anybody to try and enjoy and figuring out. And again, the toy box is only going to get better. And there have been some toy boxes on here. 2.0, I maybe played two toy boxes. That's it. There's nothing for me to play. I was like, I really don't get the big hoopla on this thing, but it's great. But some of these ones have been great, like the one that won last week, the Star Wars one that like a bunch of people on the check to look. It's like a playset, full legit playset. So, so eventually it came out to that we just felt Disney put it just above Lego Dimensions to take a award away.
They had enough right with all the little pieces that they had to barely edge out the big centerpiece of Lego Dimensions, which was the gameplay and it being a Lego game.
Right. And like the thing that we always said to defend people is people said that there's infinite gameplay with Disney Infinity, which is true. But Lego Dimensions, man, if you do everything there is to do in that game, good Lord knows it's close to infinite. Like it's incredible. You should get an award for playing everything in that game. And it's you can argue that it's redundant, but it's no different than playing any Lego game back to back to back to back. The Lord of the Rings Adventure World feels completely different than the Batman Adventure World, stuff like that. So it's
it was close, man. We went back and forth, and neither one of us, I don't think, had a horse in the race going into it. Like we were both going back and forth on both of those games, and it was tough. And then as we were talking about it, Skylanders kept creeping back up into the discussion. Like like we crossed it off early. But then we would bring it back up because it was like, well, we really liked playing Skylanders and that it did have all these good qualities. And I mean, that just goes to show how strong this was for these three games, these starter packs, these franchises to just come out and be so competitive with one another and, push each other to be better.
Right. I mean, we'd back out and be like, well, then Skylanders just did everything just right. Like, they just did it. Like, there was never like Lego Dimensions, I had like 5 game-breaking bugs, Yeah. Disney Infinity was just a bunch of randomness that's just wrong with it.
Skylanders was just more good Skylanders.
Right. So it was back and forth, and so it was a hard category. And again, like it sounds like we're beating to death all 3 of these games, but all 3 we super enjoyed. Like that's need to be clear too. We all super enjoyed. I don't regret getting any of them. I think all 3 of them were obviously Lego Dimensions is its own, but all 3 of them were. Like Disney Infinity 3.0 is the best in the series. It's not even a comparison. It's well above anything that they've done. Skylanders SuperChargers, you can argue, maybe some people like Matt still loves the first one. Some people like Swap Force the most, but I think this is an excellent addition into the game. So
yeah, it was tough, man. And I mean, I honestly had forgotten that we picked Disney Infinity going into these awards. Like when you said it, I'm like, oh crap! I thought we were going to go Lego Dimensions. Like that's how back and forth we were the whole time. And even the fan voting showed that too.
Yeah, because again, Disney Infinity was up front for a while, and then Lego came on strong there at the end. And like I was even thinking about texting you on Monday, and I'm like, legit, I've not stopped thinking about our choice for Game of the Year like all day. Like it's all I've been thinking about, and then it's just like, but I fully at this point fully feel we chose the right choice.
That's what I picked out to show off when you called Game of the Year. So, I mean, I legit 100% forgot that we went Disney Infinity.
It was so close at the end, and that's why
we could have gone either way.
Like you said, the last sentence we said was we can't give Toys to Life Game of the Year to a game where we complain about the use of toys. Is basically what we said.
Yeah.
So I mean, if they maybe had cut back on the number of uses and thing there, we might have completely flipped it.
Sure.
So it was that close.
Man, that was fun.
That was fun.
Vince, did you have fun?
I had a lot of fun.
You had the easiest job of the night.
Yes, I did.
He's been losing his voice all day too.
I have. I've been sick for like 2 weeks. I haven't had a voice, so I'm like always coughing and trying. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna do this.
I told him you don't have to talk tonight.
Cards.
Super professional.
I just want to like throw them.
Yeah, go ahead, do it.
Well, this
do
is,
it, man. Do it. I don't care. Have you seen this room?
Yeah.
Are you freaking kidding me?
First annual Toys for
I'm gonna
Games.
get my intern to clean this up.
It's like 52 pickup.
Gotta say thank you to the entire community out there for not only voting and participating, but sharing, being a part of everything that we did with these, interacting, pushing votes. All of it was just so phenomenal to see so many people from the community step up and want to be a part of it. That's kind of what we hoped for when we went into this, was getting community feedback and involvement and making it not just fun for us and making a good show about it, but also making it fun for everybody for the couple weeks that the voting was happening. And that was beyond what I hoped for with what we got. So thank you to everybody for that, because that was fantastic. What else you got, Jason?
That's it. And we can exciting stuff as far as for speaking of like mentions again this week. If you're listening to this on Wednesday night, you got an awesome streaming going on Wednesday night. I'll be streaming on Saturday in the middle of the blizzard over on the East Coast. Doing some Ghostbuster stuff. Found out we have giveaways that are for $10 team packs or $1. Not $10 off. That's ridiculous. That's for $10 for the thing, and $1 for a fun pack. $1. That's basically free.
Yeah,
and it's free shipping. So you're paying $1.06 depending on your sales tax.
Right.
I don't even have the game yet. I'm gonna buy them.
Yeah.
You're changing your article as soon as we're done here, right?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, that's probably a good thing. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. The streams. What?
I just can't believe that. I'm just glad you read it the same way I did.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I told him I was like, not that I would thought you guys would cheap out and put $1 off a toy pack or a fun pack, but I didn't want to think you'd be giving away for $1 of fees either. So that's why I didn't say anything.
It kind of just felt like that was his way, because he knows that we've poked fun about the extra $1,
right?
And he's called us out on it before too. So yeah. I think I read it as like his way of kind of getting us back for that,
Right.
And of course we're not in a position to be like, oh, this is stupid, like what would you use this for? Like, of course we're gonna own it and say thank you and just roll with it. But
right,
man, we're rookies. Yeah. So thank you everybody for making this happen. This couldn't have happened without your support throughout the entire year. We really hope that we did a proper celebration of the Toys to Life genre, because it is something that all three of us, I think, truly care about and love and am glad to be a part of. And I think everybody listening to us and watching us and interacting with us in any way, shape, or form feels the same way. So this wasn't for us. This was for everybody out there, including the people making these games, selling the games, talking about the games, everything. This is for everybody that's involved with the Toys to Life genre, because it's mainstream now, folks. It's not something you need to hide and be embarrassed that you collect. Like, it's full on mainstream. It's okay, I promise. Vince, if someone were to say, you know what, that man was super handsome, and
I would say thank you.
I wonder where he got his bow tie. I wonder if I could ask him where he gets his dapper clothing. Where can people find you at to ask you said questions?
People can find me at Vince Inquires, at Vince Inquires on Twitter. I mean,
that's how that works.
Yeah, that's how that works. I didn't want to say at, because then I'm a Star Wars thing. And that's
then it gets weird.
Yeah. No.
And as we start getting it, yeah, on Twitter. That's It's a big thing. As we start getting closer to conventions and E3, I'm sure you'll start ramping up on the social medias.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's always a good
Hard,
time.
it's hard all day being a mailman and trying to tweet with frozen thumbs. It
Yeah.
doesn't work. It's
Thankless
difficult.
job, man.
I don't even thank myself.
Thank you.
It's wonderful. You don't have to thank me.
Jason, I'm thanking you for delivering all of Jason's stuff on a daily basis, because if you didn't, he would be losing his mind. So
Yes, you would.
thank you for at least keeping him sane as best as you possibly can. Jason,
Do my best.
Yes, sir.
where can people find you at?
Yeah, you can follow me personally on Twitter, twitter.com/JasonInquires. You can also head to infinityinquirer.com, SkylandersInquirer.com, and BrickInquirer.com. You can also follow me personally, or I should say for all the sites, on Instagram.com/JasonInquires and YouTube.com/C for channel/JasonInquires. Or just search Jason Inquires, all one word, on YouTube. And obviously on Periscope. Had a good fun with Periscope tonight in our pre-game.
Yep.
So that was good fun. But yeah, so it was awesome. So again, thanks for checking out, tweeting on there again, hitting a lot of followers on there. A lot of people are having fun. So hopefully enjoying the conversation. If you don't tweet us at all, hopefully, Josh and I are very, very laid back, enjoy interacting with you. So if you enjoyed the show, anything like that, please reach out, say stuff, and we'll be more than happy to talk to you about whatever. So we're always laughing about stuff. So come and join us.
We are totally approachable, unlike
Yes.
others.
other people named Jason.
Personally, you can find me on Twitter at The Noise. You can find the show's Twitter account at Toys for Games. You can email us podcast at toysforgames.com. Of course, our website, toysforgames.com. If you like what we do and you want to support us over on Patreon, go to patreon.com/toysforgames. Check out the different tiers and the rewards, and let us know what you think about that. If there's anything we could change or add, let me know. Totally open to that. Instagram, Toys for Games. And don't forget about the Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/Toys for Games. Next week, we will be back to the regular scheduled program. News, breaking news, leaks, random discussions, special guests. It's going to be fun. I can't wait.
It's gonna be a crazy episode.
Yeah, it is. Thank you all for 1 year of support, and we look forward to so much more in the upcoming year and beyond. But until next time, happy hunting, collectors.